Hi guys. Yo. Hi guys. Coach speaking. The owner of Forex Broker Killer. Welcome. Welcome to the continuation of my story. Beyond the charts. The story of Kgopotso Mmutlane. So this is part 2. Basically, this is part 2. Remember, I started on part 0 initially. Part 0, it was from 1995 when I was born till 2009. And then part 1, it was from 2010 till 2013. And then part 2 is today. It's what's happening right now, So yeah, I'm gonna be continuing. Remember, if you missed other parts, you can find them on my timeline. They are there. So last I ended things around about 2013, and doing just a recap from 2013. What happened in a nutshell was that I got heartbroken for the first time. I was heartbroken for the first time, and school-wise, I actually failed. I actually failed my first year at university. Now that simply means that slowly my dreams were initially getting crushed. They were getting crushed very, very. So starting from 2014 now. Starting from 2014. Remember, what I'm telling you has nothing to do with coach as yet. Coach will be starting later around 2017, but this is Kgopotso. Therefore, I want you guys to connect with me from the roots. Don't get fooled by the lifestyle you see on my timeline, the affordability and so forth. Don't get fooled. There is a lot of pain beyond or behind, I would say, so don't just get hooked by the nice lifestyle that you see, because I believe it's best to understand and say somebody is your role model because you understand where they come from. There's nothing inspiring about chess boys, trust me. So from 2014, I changed my course. I was doing local government finance before, and then I switched to economics now, economic management analysis in Kgopotso TUT. Therefore, I told myself that, you know what, I'm going to give this new course my best shot, given the fact that the previous year I've actually failed. I've actually failed. And at that time, I was not as proud as I am right now, Now, Vela, I started 2014. I was doing economics. When it comes to attending, I've only attended like for the first week. Then second week, that thing, New Year resolutions. I've made New Year resolutions. I was like, God, I'm going to do my best this time. That was 2014. I'm going to make sure that I pass university and so forth. But here's the thing with New Year resolutions. You write them down, you plan them, but a week won't pass before your real colors come out again. Or your real colors, they have to come out again. Now, I only attended, or I hear people complaining about the volume. Sorry about that. I'm trying to fix the volume here. I hope you can now hear me clearly. I hope you can now hear me clearly. Can you guys hear me? Because I hear people complaining about my sound or my volume. Okay, yeah, the volume is fine. So Vele, I started Vele. I went to school properly, like maybe for a week or so. Then after second week, I was back to my original behavior. My original behavior was not wanting to go to school, you know. That was just me, you know. And I told myself that, you know what, since I'm not interested in going to school anymore, even though I have to do this not just for myself but for my parents as well, I will do my best, you know. But at the same time, I've had this passion, this burning desire that I want to be a DJ. I want to be a DJ so bad, but people, I mean, my parents, they don't support the decision and so forth, you know. So it's fine. I was like, let me push on being a DJ. Let me push on being a DJ. Just maybe I can actually make it in the music industry. Just maybe I can actually make it in the music industry. You know, now going to school, I met this guy in 2014. I met this guy. He was a DJ as well, you know, and he has been in TUT since 2011. I went to TUT in 2013. So he has been to TUT 2 years before me, right? And 2011, he failed. 2012, he failed. 2013, when I went there, he failed. I also failed. Now that was 2014. It was his fourth year university, but it was my second year university. So I met this guy, you know. So this guy was into a lot of things. He was into a lot of things. Anything which was naughty, he was there. However, I hanged around with him. He showed me a couple of things, you know, in the music industry in terms of production. That's when I started focusing on FL Studio, Resin, which is basically music. Making softwares, I would say, you know. So he taught me so many of these things, how to make a beat, how to do that. So I started focusing more on music now. And remember, a human body can only have 100% attention, right? Now, the moment you put attention on something else, then you start losing focus, right? So I put my attention, like 50% of my attention on music. Therefore, that simply means that I'm actually left with the other 50% for school. And so forth, most of my attention went to music rather than school itself, you know. And the reason why I'm this honest is because I want you guys to understand that at some point, the life that I'm living now, I had to make choices, you know. I was failing because I made a choice to fail. Because if you're studying, I mean, like on the real, if you're studying the way you are supposed to study, you are supposed to pass. You understand? So I made choices. That's why I was failing like from time to time. Now I pushed. So this guy, hanging out with him, I noticed that, okay, this guy is into girls. Like, he loves girls so much, right? And girls love him back, which is a good thing, right? And now at that time, I'm actually healing from the heartbreak which I experienced in 2013. I'm still not ready emotionally to be in a relationship. Not to even mention financially, I was never ready to be in a relationship, you know. So I noticed that he's into girls and all that, and he's trying to show me how to impress girls and all that, but I'm not really interested in that. And then hanging out with him as well, I noticed that he was into drugs at that time, you know. He was into drugs, like actual drugs, you know. Because at first, when he had the package, I actually thought it was just a random powder, but apparently it was drugs. But I never asked him about it until Vela we lost touch, you know. And the reason why we lost touch was because I didn't want to end up in that industry, you know. What I'm trying to teach you guys is that you will have temptations along the way as you meet people and so forth. And at that time, I was going through a lot, and I was just scared for myself that if I go through a lot, I might end up going into drugs and all those things. Keep in mind, ever since I was born, I've never drank alcohol, and I'm not telling you this for you to believe. You don't have to believe me, it's fine. Like I said, you can believe whatever that makes you sleep at night, but that's just a fact. I've never drank alcohol. I've never smoked hardly. I've never smoked cigarette or anything of that nature. So I distanced myself because I saw, no, this is a wrong company. Even though I'm gonna learn a lot in music, but this is a wrong company. So I went solo. I kept on pushing music. When it's time to attend classes, I will be in my room pushing music, using YouTube and all that. So 2014, I released an album. Now, here's the thing with people, right? Here's the thing with people. People never take you serious until you are actually a somebody in life. That's shout out to Kim Monada in the building. People can never take you serious unless you have something which could keep them interested. I don't know. So I made my first album, and after I made my first album, it was about 14 tracks, I think. I sent the album to so many record labels, because music was supposed to be my biggest breakthrough, apparently, at that time, the way I actually planned my things. Now, I sent my album to a couple of guys that I knew personally, And from that moment onwards, I noticed, people who know you personally don't owe to take you to the next level in life. You owe yourself to take yourself in the next level in life. What I'm trying to say is that I've been rejected. I've sent my album to a couple of guys whom I thought, because they know so much in the industry, they will show me the ropes. They would show me the ropes and all that. But nah, they didn't even bother downloading my album. So what I did at that time, I only had social media. I only had Facebook as my social media, So I was pushing my album on Facebook, the account that I was using at that time. So I was pushing, and then when I would post, I would get like 5 downloads. And 5 downloads, 3 of the downloads out of the 5, they come from me. I downloaded my own stuff just so I could increase numbers. And that simply means that 2 people actually downloaded my album, And it was so frustrating that I actually didn't know what to do. School is not working, music is not working, and so forth, And when I'm reading about success and all that on the internet, I've noticed people only engage with you when there's something that they can benefit from. Meaning that if you present yourself to people as a nobody will take you serious. Successful people don't really help poor people, honestly speaking. That's just the real truth. And I've learned that. And you can't really blame successful people for not helping you, because each and every person has their own story. Lena, I was denied opportunities before, so you can't really hold me responsible now for me not helping you when you need help. You understand? So it's life. That's just life. That's just how it is. And 2014, still in 2014, around June, there was time for me to write exams. The time for me to write exams came, and I did write, but I didn't study, because I was busy working on my second album now. Second album. Kore, the first album didn't put my spirit down. I just kept on pushing. I was working on my second album. So what I did was I just randomly downloaded vocals from the internet, American vocals, then put them on my songs without their approval and all that. But it was not a problem for as long as I was not selling the music. So what those vocalists didn't want is for you to put their vocals and sell them, sell your stuff with their vocals on. That's when it was going to be a problem. So it was okay for me to use them because I was not selling them. They were free basically. So I kept on pushing. I kept on pushing, making my second album, Second album, I released it in 2014 as well. Second album, And problem is that the sad part about it now is that I can't really connect back to what I was doing back then because I initially lost everything, but I'll get to that part. So I was working on my second album. Vele, I released it as well. Now the second album, I've noticed that people only download if there are many downloads. So what I did on my second album was that I posted it on data file host, and then I clicked download, right? Then I refreshed. Then I found out immediately after I clicked download, it will write one download, like one person downloaded it. Then I'll click download again, and then it will say 2 people downloaded it. Click download, 3 people, but it's still me. And what I did, I was just clicking download, clicking download, clicking download. Then when I refresh, it says 100 people downloaded. But I knew in my heart that it's not real people. It's just a computer. When you click download, it sends a request that it's downloading, even though it's not really downloaded. So I was clicking download until I got to 1,000. So that simply means that 1,000 people downloaded my album, but it was not real people. I was just hustling. And some would say it's fake it till you make it. But not personally, it's hustling. It's hustling. I did what I had to do. Now I took my downloads to 10,000 downloads. Now, after taking them to 10,000 downloads by clicking on my own, imagine, guys, clicking on one link 10,000 times. Then after, a person will come now and say, and talk nonsense about your success. They have no idea what you have to go through alone. That's the funny part. You go through these things alone. So I released my album with 10,000 downloads. It was not real downloads. So when I released, I told people, Coach Kerry, vatsena mahala when I check. King, beat these people, man. People are not supposed to enter for free here. Beat them. Yeah, so I posted my album. So after posting it, when people saw it has over 10,000 downloads, they started downloading. So I think I got about 100 downloads, like real downloads this time, real downloads, because they've seen 10,000. So 100 people didn't mind downloading because they've seen 10,000 downloads. You understand? Therefore, if the downloads were 0, 100 people wouldn't have downloaded the song. So I was like, oh, so this is how it works. So basically, people have to see you taking yourself somewhere before they can actually support you. I'm like, oh, okay. Let the games begin. I will play the game. Now, school-wise, I was lacking big time. And remember, this is like my second course and still nothing. So I've had a platform to actually get a new girlfriend. There was this girl that I used to like a lot, but she was into music as well. She was showing me some of the things. We were close, So every time I'm supposed to make a move on her, I would think about the future. I'm like, what if we don't work and we end up not talking and all that? So I put her in the friend zone, putting somebody that you like in the friend zone. You are gonna go through that in the future. There's gonna be somebody that you like, that you wanna date, but sometimes dating them is not worth it, meaning that you can ruin so many things, especially if you know that you have a cold heart. So at that time, I had a cold heart. I was just not ready. Now, that's 2014. I released 2 albums in 1 year. They are unknown. Those albums are unknown. At least the second album, 100 real people downloaded them. At least that's something, Now, towards the end of the year, now I was supposed to write my exams. And basically I didn't qualify. At varsity, you need to qualify to write exams. So I didn't qualify to write all my exams. Out of 5 subjects, I only qualified to write about 3. 2 of them automatically I didn't qualify, meaning that I failed, right? So I only wrote 3 exams. And then out of the 3 that I wrote, I actually failed all of them. So that simply means that 2014, I've actually failed everything. Everything that I was doing in that course, I failed it. Now my parents, my father is a pastor. I come from a Christian family. Even though that's not the reason why I'm not drinking alcohol or smoking. That's just a personal decision that I had to make. It has nothing to do with what my parents are or whether I come from a Christian family or not. So my parents, they understood that the first year, the reason why I failed was because the course that I was doing was a second choice. So I told them that this time I will pass because this is like the course that I've always wanted from the start, Now, 2014, my parents want results, varsity results. I had 2 options, people, Remember, there's a difference between lying and hustling. You must understand the details. I did not lie. I was hustling. So they asked for my results. My parents asked for my results in 2014 year end. And I told mom that I actually passed. I passed everything, Now, they want my results. Remember, when you come from a black family, especially in Limpopo, they give you instructions that you are going to Gauteng to get the qualification and come back. You're not going there to play. If you mess this chance up, you are coming home for good. That's like, I remember the warning very well. So I've lied to my parents because I knew if I tell them that I failed, second year I failed everything, I will no longer go to varsity anymore. So I was like, okay, Plani, Oledi, I actually passed. But my results are a bit delayed. So you'll get them early 2015. So she believed me. She had no choice, And during December, when we were partying, December spirit and all that, now I was actually calculating how the hell will I fake my results? So now I was like, you know what? I will see that in 2015. So 2014 passed. I was still not in a relationship at that time. Now remember, my success came because of what we call love. If it was not the relationship that I was in, I don't think I would have had it in me to push beyond my limits. So I think you need to get hurt in life in order to actually finally become successful. It's not going to be the case for everyone, but that was the case for me. Now, 2015, Vele, beginning of the year. So what I did, I actually I went to varsity and then I came back. I went back home. So meaning that early January after New Year, I went to varsity and then I went back home. So I told my mom that there are forms that I need to sign and so forth, right? That was early 2015, January. Kanti, the reality of the matter is that TUT has officially excluded me, right? So I found the email that Kgopotso Mmutlane, student number what 213 what. You have been officially excluded from studying at Tshwane University of Technology for a period of 2 years. In case you don't know what that means, it simply means that TUT has chased me away. Therefore, I was supposed to take a break for about 2 years before I can even apply to study anything. That simply means that I've told my parents that I've passed everything and I will give them the results. But reality of the matter was that I actually got chased out of the university. So how the hell will I have access to the university to fake results or pretend as if I'm still studying, whereas the university chased me away? It was a fucked up situation. It was a fucked up situation. And I think God brings these things to us, such things, such challenges, in order to train us, to train us to be much more stronger. I had to be stronger. Imagine now I'm in deep shit. I can't sit with my parents down and say, Mom, Dad, the university has chased me. One more important detail that I forgot. In 2014, I was actually studying with NSFAS. 2013, I didn't have NSFAS. Now, 2014, I had NSFAS. I was studying with NSFAS the whole year. So NSFAS paid my fees for the previous year in a way when they approved me. So they paid fees for 2013 and 2014. Now, I actually got 2 exclusions. The first exclusion was from the varsity. The second one was NSFAS. Coach Bekitele is here. Can I take him to the VIP? Yes, Kim Monada, take Bekitele to the VIP. VVIP actually. VVIP, not just VIP. So yeah, I got chased 2 times. NSFAS and the university. Now, it's fine. 2015, I came to varsity. Now, when I came to varsity, I made contact with that friend of mine. That friend of mine that I cut because of the kind of lifestyle he was living. I contacted him and then I explained to him, here's the situation. I lied to my parents that I passed where else I failed. And then second thing, the university has chased me. NSFAS has chased me. So basically now I'm a hobo. I'm homeless. Nchaka, what do I do in this situation? He said, Fanam, you have nothing to worry about. Ever since I came to TT in 2011, I've been getting chased every year. It's small waters. I'm like, yeah? He's like, yes. So I'm like, how do we work around that? He's like, first things first, there is what we call appeal. Like when the university chase you, you can actually appeal. So that they can take you back. I'm like, okay. So he explained to me the process. But he said, you need proof. So that the university can take you back. You need concrete proof as to why you were failing. And I'm like, okay, fine, we'll deal with that. But now emergency, because I have to go back home. My parents are waiting for results. That guy showed me things that I've never seen before. He gave me this document. It's results. Someone else's results. Where they write student number and names, it was empty. The only thing I had to do was to write my student number and my name and then print. So I wrote my student number and my name and then I printed the document, And then I went back home again before I could appeal. And then when I was home, I showed my parents the results, When I was showing them, my father is that type of a man who doesn't believe what I tell him. It's like he can see this boy thinks he's smart. So when he was reviewing the results, I was like, oh God, this man, it's like he's working with Jesus Christ, and right now I'm doing Satan's work. If he catches me, I'm dead. After viewing my results, my father he has shaken my hands. He's like, son, I'm proud of you. Imagine, guys, your father is saying, I'm proud of you, and whatever that he has seen, it's a fucking lie. It was a lie. I'm like, my heart was paining at that time. I'm like, why am I doing this? God, why am I doing this? Why don't I just tell them the truth? But then again, I would think about the bigger picture. If I tell them the truth, Somara, that would be the last time I see Pretoria. So I have to maintain that lie. I have to keep going. Now, keep in mind, I did not have any hope that things would turn good for me. I was just like, no, whatever that used to come, it was fine. So I went back to varsity, and then I fetched the forms to appeal. Now, on the forms to appeal, you need to explain why you have failed. So I've thought about it. I'm like, okay, sharp. Now I need to explain why I've failed. Remember, on part 1, I explained that my father worked in a mine for like 20 years, and then he got retrenched. And then when they retrenched him, the full package that they gave him was less than 50,000, probably around 30-something thousand. And that's just the system, how it is. So there were letters that they were giving him to show that he got retrenched. That one. So what I did, I was like, okay, a reason why I was failing. So I wrote it on the form that, you know what, people, you need to understand that the reason why I failed was because the breadwinner from my family got retrenched from work. My father got retrenched from work, and there was no way I could focus. So I didn't have food anymore. So I gave these reasons, and then now when it was time to attach the proof, now I was forced to go back home again. I went back home again. Now, when I went back home my mom asked me, why am I back? I told her that no, university is going to be starting a bit late. So I'm here for like a week because it's empty there. Now, when they went to work, when my mother went to work and my father was out, I went through their documents. And then I found those letters whereby he got retrenched. I went on to the internet cafe and I made copies. I made copies of the letter. Now I went back home. It was fine. Then when it was time to go back to the university, I went back and then I submitted the appeal form. The appeal form was perfect. It shows that the reason why I failed was because my father got retrenched, and there was actually proof that he got retrenched. Therefore, my performance had to be affected, right? Guys, this is not lying. This is called hustling. You must understand. It's called hustling. It's not lying. It's only lying when you have nothing to benefit out of this. But if you have something to benefit, then it's hustling. It is what it is. We all have to do what we have to do, Now, I've submitted the appeal. They said that we must wait for about a week or 2 before the results come out. So I've waited for like 2 weeks, and then the results came out. And then I went to the campus to look for the results, and I saw my student number there. My student number was there, like I was taken back to the varsity. And keep in mind, this is like 2015, right? And just so I can make you guys understand, do not do what I was doing. Do not do what I was doing. It's very, very risky. Coach, I'm sorry for disturbing, but Polani just arrived. Yeah, please, Munada, please take Polani to the VVIP as well. He's one of our important guests, and then give him cranberry juice. Don't give him alcohol. You know him. He loves alcohol so much. Don't give him alcohol as yet. So I was taken back, and then I saw that, okay, sharp, the university has taken me back. Now I had to think about my future. I'm like, now 2015, this is third year in varsity, but still doing first year. So meaning that I'm failing. Now, do I need to continue with this, or Somara must just give up? And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not giving up. Instead, I will make it as a DJ or as a musician. I will make it dark or blue. Now, 2015, I had this roommate. Guy whom I was staying with. Now he was doing his first year. No, he was actually doing his second year. Yeah, he was doing his second year in 2015. Now I was doing my third year, but in the first year level. So this guy, he was that guy who grew up in a family of oppression. They were oppressing him in the family. He didn't really have freedom. So when he came to varsity, that was like a platform for him to be as naughty as he can. So that's how we were connecting, me and him, you know. So me and him, Vela, we started not going to school. We started not going to school and so forth. And at that time where we were staying at the student accommodation, more girls started coming in. Now I was starting to open up to dating. You know, I was starting to open up to dating and all that. That was early 2015. I was starting to open up to dating and so forth. So me and this guy, he was a rapper. I don't know what happened to him now, but he was into rap, and I was into, I would say, house music in general, being a DJ, right? So many things happened in 2015. 2015 was the year whereby I met Betuel. Betuel, by the way, is my manager, right? If you want to get hold of me, Betuel is the right guy to contact. He's the one who's actually controlling my life. So many people are unable to understand. They think Betuel just came out of nowhere. Me and Betuel come a long way. He was there from 2015. That's when I met him. Basically, most of, even Poncho as well, most of the FBK guys, I've met them in varsity. So the guy, my roommate, he was a rapper and an upcoming rapper. And so we were sitting down. He's like, boy, I want to make music, but you know how difficult it is. What is it that we have to do in order for us to get recognition? And then I told him, well, boy, I know a way which I can make people download your music. And he's like, show me the way. And then we uploaded a file randomly on data file host. And then I clicked on it like 100 times. And then when I refresh, it shows that 100 people have downloaded it, but it's only me. So he has seen the trick. He's like, hey, Mfana, you're smart. I'm like, yeah, it's called the art of hustling. You need to hustle in life, because if you don't do this for yourself, nobody's going to come and say, hey, you have talent, let me take you to the next level. No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Especially if a person doesn't have anything to gain out of working with you, they would never work with you. So at that time, I was starting to practice, you know, with music, playing. And then Betwell, he offered to be my manager. Now, here's the thing. I see so many people asking Betwell on his personal level. They're like, why are you driving coach's cars? Why are you all over coach's life? Why are you controlling it? Betwell offered to be my manager in 2015 before I knew anything about success. Therefore, even if I had to become a billionaire, he deserves to be my manager. He did not just come out of nowhere just because he has seen me made it and all that. You understand? So you need to understand that most of the people in my circle, we've come a long way. Now, my boy, I told him, my roommate, I told him that, boy, if you want people to download your music, you must be famous. And at that time, I was not into Twitter. I hated Twitter. And I hated Instagram. Not because I hated them, but because I couldn't afford data for Twitter and Instagram at the same time. Instagram was even worse at that time. So I was a Facebook person. You know, my journey started on Facebook. So I went on YouTube this other time. Now, I want you guys to understand something. Ne? The reason why I'm telling you guys this story is so that you can understand and know who you're following, right? You're more than welcome to judge me out of the decisions that I made, because I've made it now. But at that time, I want you guys to understand that I did not have a choice. I had to do what I had to do. You know, I had to do what I had to do at that time. Now, I went on YouTube and I Googled how to become famous on Facebook. Here's the thing. I Googled how to become famous on Facebook. That is still like early 2015, maybe around like February, March, somewhere there. how to become famous on Facebook. And I found so many interesting things. Now, I found what we call auto likes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that before. I found what we call auto likes. Ne? So basically, on auto likes, what happens is that you can actually have so many likes, like so many likes out of nowhere, NG. And I did more research about it, right? I did more research about it. Now, there are so many things that you're going to judge me based on, but at the same time, there are so many things that you're going to learn from me about life on its own. There is no easy success. That's just the truth. So I came across auto likes. And I was like, okay, auto likes. What happens here? I checked. I'm like, oh, this is how it happens. So when my roommate was sleeping at night, I almost fainted. So I went to this other website. I forgot the name of the website, but it has something to do with Facebook auto likes or FB auto likes. I went there. Then what they did there, they said log in your account. Now, I want you guys to understand, it's easy to get hacked. Once you go that route, it's very, very easy to get hacked. But at that time, why would I be afraid of getting hacked where else I'm a nobody? When I released my music, at that time, 2015, I was working on my third album. So I wanted people to get my third album so bad, so that I can be given an equal platform or equal chance in this music industry. Now, I tested this thing. I logged in on their website using my password and my email and all those sensitive information, which they could easily hack me based on. And then when I signed in, they said, welcome to the world of fame. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. World of fame. And then they said, choose how many likes you want. Yeah. How many likes do I want? I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck? And then I saw 100 likes. I saw 1,000 likes. I saw 10,000 likes. The maximum that I've seen it was 10,000 likes, basically. And then under there were comments. You could actually get comments. You could actually get shares, right? Like shares, like when people share your posts. So I opted for the 100 likes. I selected the 100 likes. I approved. They said wait for 2 minutes. It's free. Remember, it's free. I've waited for 2 minutes. They said your likes have been sent. Go and check your account. I went on my Facebook. Remember, this Facebook that I'm referring to, it was closed down by Facebook itself. So I had to start a new account, So after the new account, I never did that nonsense anymore. There was no need, trust me. So I went on Facebook. When I went to my notifications were coming in like this. But here's the funny thing. All the people that were liking my stuff, they were Indians. Basically, it was Indians, mostly. Faraj Muraj, Kafir Kashi, Shabir Sheikh, Korfor, liking. When I refresh, I'm like, my post, it had 10 likes. Now it has 110 likes. I've woken up my roommate. I'm like, boy, wake up. Boy, come and see a miracle. Boy, we are going to be famous today. I've woken him up and he's like, boy, what's happening? He's still sleeping. I'm like, when I wake up, you were saying you want to be a famous rapper. I found a way for us to be famous, And he's like, okay, show me. And I showed him the account. And then he's like, boy, where did you get 100 likes? Because I know you get 10 likes. I'm like, boy, stick with me, you will go places. Stick with me, boy, you will go places, trust me. And he's like, okay, show me. I logged in the account again. And then when I logged in, they said, wait for 15 minutes. You can't abuse the system. So I've waited for 15 minutes with him. He was asleep. He didn't believe it. Now I've selected 1,000 likes. They said, wait for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, my boy almost fainted when he saw the likes. 200, 300 likes, 400, until 1,000 likes on Facebook. But here's the thing, there was no comment at that time. There was no comment at all. And the main purpose why I was doing that was so that I could get famous, so that people can download my music. If people would download my music, then I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have thought of that in the first place. You understand? So he was shocked. He's like, boy, we're going to be famous. Now I had more than 1,000 likes on one post, right? And I was like, Now I was forced to do a research before. So I actually deleted the post. I deleted the post on Facebook. Now remember that account was actually closed. So I was forced to do a research. Where do the likes come from? That was the first thing that I had to do. Where do the likes come from? So when I was doing a research, I found out this is like a community of people who are desperate to be famous. So it's like millions of people. So when you sign up for this thing, you are signing up so that you're giving these guys access to your account. So these guys will actually have your account on their system. Your account will be liking other people's pictures without you knowing. So that simply means that system was used by Indians. So Indians signed up for those things. So when we sign up, Indians' accounts were used to like my stuff, and then my stuff were used to like Indian people's stuff. So it was a relationship between me and Indians. You understand? So that's why I like Indians so much. You see, Indians, the truth about Indians is that most of them, if you can remember 10 years back, most Indians or those guys from Africa and all that, they came to our country by selling blankets. Now they started by selling blankets. You see, by house, if you can remember, selling blankets. You were there sitting while they were selling. Today, they own almost each and every shop in the country. You're still there sitting. They started that. They started by selling blankets. So I knew it. From that moment, I knew that, fuck, Indian guys are very smart. Very, very smart. And I was like, when I grow up, I want to be an Indian. I want to think like an Indian, you know? Now, shout out to all the Indians out there. Shapo, my boy and I understood where do the likes come from. Now it was no longer a surprise. Now we just needed to create a build-up. A build-up simply means, you know me. You know that I'm not famous, but you wake up to my post tomorrow, it has 1,000 likes. You will ask me so many questions. So I had to create a build up. So my boy and I found other systems we can use, which used to give us 10 likes, 20 likes. So we were creating a build up, creating a build up. People were not able to notice. Then before they knew it, there was remember on Facebook, there were things which we were calling celebs. If you were not a celeb by that time, you were not relevant. So at that time, things were starting to pick up and people were starting to talk about me. There's this guy who gets 100 likes. There's this guy who gets 1,000 likes. Check him out. At that time, I think on Facebook, I was CT, something like CTSA or something like that. There was no coach at that time. That's why I'm telling you that the story that I'm telling you has nothing to do with coach, but it's a build up. So not being a celeb was not, if you're not a celeb vele, you were nobody. You were a nobody at that time. So you need to be smart in life. You need to be very smart. So people started noticing us. Beautiful girls would on Facebook there is no DM, it's actually inbox. Beautiful girls would inbox us just because they see we have likes, and then they would say, please post us and all that. So I would post the girls and I would put them in the system. They would get likes out of nowhere. The trick is, don't ask me questions. Don't ask me how did I get the likes. It's none of your business. It's none of your business how I used to get the likes. Sharp. So now, when I was done with my third album, I saw a platform that, this is it. With this album, I'm going to be famous. I have to be famous because now I have fame, right? Now, I told myself that I will release the album later during the year, just after June. That was just around March. I'll release the album later during the year. Yeah, during the year. Now, had I known that things would go bad, I would have released my album at that time and took advantage of the little fake fame that I had at that time, you know? So, sharp. Relationship wise, I met this girl. Ne? Now, this is the main girl, this is the male girl that actually pushed me beyond my limits. Now, I met this girl. Me and this girl, we were staying in the same house as well. Most of the people who were staying in the same house, you know, me and this girl were staying in the same house, and we started spending a lot of time together, you know. I think naturally, if I like you, ne, naturally, even today, I can't just start and then start by hitting up on you. Instead, we have to be friends before, like we have to be friends before, so that we can get to know each other. You know, we have to know each other and all that. So we got to know each other, and I started liking her, and she started liking me too. So March, when we went home, me and her, we started talking a lot on the phone when she was home and I was home as well. You know, we started talking a lot. We started bonding and all that. So when we went back to Varsity Valley, the bond was even stronger, you know. The girl that I'm talking about is the girl who made me the person that I am today, but I doubt she knows it, you know, because when I go on with the story, you'll get to understand how I was forced to be successful, you know, because all my life I've been hustling. All my life I've been hustling. So when I got into a relationship with this girl in 2015, I got into a relationship with this girl in 2015, and I loved her. Like, I loved her with all my heart. You guys don't understand, right? And you know how it is. Girls will always be girls. They want to be treated nicely and all that. So I had to hustle. I had to hustle. I had to hustle. I had to think like a hustler, because now I have fame on Facebook, right? Facebook, I have fame, but I'm waiting for a certain time so that I can release my album. So now I need to make money so that I can take care of my girl, you know? Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is so you can understand that if you fail to take care of your girl, your excuse being that you don't have money, that's nonsense. You must think like a hustler. So now, remember, 2015, third year university, I'm still doing the economics course, and I'm literally failing. It's like, you know what, I'm failing, and I've accepted there's nothing I can do, you know? So I had to make money. Now I had to sit down and think, how can I make money? You know? How can I make money when the situation is like this? Because my music is not out there. So I want to make money as a DJ. How can I make money? So I said, let me start a business. So I started a business in 2015 of fixing computers. Now keep in mind, people, I don't know how to fix a computer. At that time, I didn't know how to fix a computer, but I started a business of fixing computers because Betwell was my manager, yes, in the music industry, hustling for gigs for me, but there was no gigs. There were no gigs, Vele, which I was getting at that time. So I had to make money either way for my girl, you know. So I started fixing computers. What else? I didn't know how to fix a computer. So that's why I'm telling you guys that I'm teaching you how to think like a hustler. Because the system, even the system that we are living in right now, they will tell you that we are looking for a marketing director. You must have 5 years of experience. That time you just come from varsity, you don't have experience. And they're telling you that they need you to have experience for them to hire you. So you see, it's complicated. So I had to think out of the box. Now, I put a poster on campus, like TT Garangwa campus, and I'm like, I'm fixing computers. I change Windows, I remove antivirus and all that. And the price that I was charging was about, I think it was about 50 rands or 100 rands. I don't remember very well. So after posting, in varsity, many students are going through technical difficulties, like their computers are not switching on. They had an assignment that the assignment disappeared, I mean, because of antivirus and all that. So I was like, okay, I posted the thing late in the evening. Now in the morning, because I've put my number there, I got so many calls. Like I got about 5 calls. So when I called them back, they're like, yo, man, I saw your poster. The first guy, I remember him, he was a cheese boy. Hey, yo, dog, I saw your poster on campus, dog. I want you to fix my computer. It's acting up and shit. I'm like, okay, what's the challenge? He's like, I don't know, dog. It's not even turning on. It's not even switching on. Okay, I'm like, okay, fine. So this guy, he's staying at rest. So I went to campus. Remember, I charged 50 rands. When I went to campus, he shows me his computer, right? He says that the last time he was actually using the computer and then it turned off. It's not even charging and it doesn't turn on. I'm like, okay. I looked at the computer. I tried turning the computer on. Then the charger was on the plug. Like the laptop was actually charging. It's a laptop. It was actually charging, And I'm trying to think because I don't know how to fix a computer, remember. So when I looked where the charger was plugged, the nigga didn't turn on the on button. So I turned on the on button. Then the laptop started charging. Then I knew that it's gonna switch on. So I told him that I need water. He went to fetch water in the rest kitchen, and then I pressed the on button. Then the laptop turned on. When he came back, the laptop was on, and he's like, dog, you're dope, you're dope. And I'm like, I have been doing this. It's not a problem. Reality of the matter is that the nigga, cheese boys are too spoiled. They're too spoiled. He didn't even bother verifying that whether the laptop was charged, was on, the plugs were on and all that. So what I did, I just pressed the button. Now I had 2 options. Option number 1 was to tell him that, dog, the reason why your laptop was not on was because you didn't press the on button on the socket wall. But instead, I told him that, you know what, dog, hey, I had to do some things here. Hey, I had to press some coding here. It was difficult turning this laptop on. And then he said, yeah, dog, how much is it? I'm like, 50 rands. Then he gave me 200 rands. Cheese boy, cheese boys. And I was like, thank you, dog. Then from there, he was, whenever, if his USB doesn't appear, he would call me. I would literally, 90% of the times, I would literally charge him for something that he could have done easily. It's hustling. People, don't judge me. I had to do what I had to do to provide for my woman. My woman was not gonna go to school without nails. I had to make money for my woman, But at the same time, I started making money. I would get a lot of calls, antiviruses. So throughout the process of computers, I was actually using Google, YouTube. So whenever a person says, my computer is virus, I would Google on YouTube how to remove virus. Everything. My cost of sales were free. I didn't have cost of sales for my business. So I would make money. Like in a month, I would make like close to 1,000 rands out of like hustling on its own, Therefore, I would take care of my girl. I would buy some food for myself as well going forward. Life goes on, I can't complain. It's hustling, the art of hustling. Now, remember the relationship between me and the girl, it was a secret. People didn't know that we were dating. We decided to keep it a secret, and we were so happy, And I loved the fact that I didn't say I don't have money to take care of my girl, and then I sat there waiting for my mom to give me money. Instead, I went there and hustled like a man, I was not hurting anybody because fact remains I was fixing computers. The only problem was that I didn't know how to fix computers. But at the end of the day, I was doing something. That's just a fact. Now, back to the Facebook fame industry. My boy and I kept on pushing, and then so many girls wanted to meet us. You know, being famous, it's the main thing in life. You know, people want to meet you, and then my physical appearance was not matching with what I was on social media. That was the main problem, you know. Whenever girls would wanna meet me, I would make excuses and all that, you know, because how I presented myself physically, it was not how they would expect me to be. Because on social media, I was living this lifestyle ya gore I'm rich. Do you guys understand? You see that lifestyle or I'm rich. Anything which could make people believe that I'm rich, I'm there. Taking pictures, putting in my auto likes on the pictures, you know? Putting in my auto likes so that people can be convinced that I'm rich. Girls, basically. I was doing that to impress girls. And I would get them only on social media. But when it's time to meet, dololo, I'm nowhere to be found. Because when you meet me physically, you can see, you don't need a ruler to see, fuck, this guy is poor. No. This guy is actually poor, you know, and it was tough, man. So, of which it brings me back to what people are saying now. People are asking themselves, okay, this guy, he says that he can go to the garage and buy a car cash. This guy says that he's trading Forex. He can make 100,000 in a minute. But this guy doesn't look the part. Why must we believe that this guy is driving a G63? This guy is staying in an estate. Why must we believe this nonsense that this guy is telling us? You know, because he doesn't look the part. Now the truth is, now I can assure you, back then in 2015, I had to fake it because I had to impress you, right? But now I don't fucking care whether you take me serious or not. I have it for real. Whether you believe it or not, I don't need to wear Gucci for you to take me serious. You understand? But before I had money, I had to look the part. So what I'm trying to teach you guys is that 90% of the famous people you see on Instagram, those whom you think they are rich, they are poor. 90% of them, they are poor, even today. When you meet them in real life, they are poor, very, very poor. Then those who look normal, they are the ones who have money. That is just the truth. Now, I can't judge them. I cannot judge them because I was once there. I was once one of them, you know. I was once the one of them, whereby I had to make sure that I look nice, you know. But the reality of the matter was that I was poor, actually, you know. So most people on social media, that's why I always tell people that never go to a person's profile and wish to be them, no matter how good it looks. These people are seeing shit. These people are seeing shit. I'm telling you, these people are struggling almost on a daily basis. You are happy with your life right now. Don't wish to be me. Don't wish to be anyone. Don't wish, just be yourself. These people are poor. You see these Instagram girls which you are seeing who are ignoring your DMs. They are hungry right now. I'm telling you, they are hungry right now. So you are happy with that non-famous girlfriend of yours. Trust me. Trust me, you are happy. But then again, it's part of hustling. They have to brand themselves in that way so that they can attract money. You know, money attracts money. Because when the profile looks proper, it's easy for business to do business with you. It's easy for me to DM you and say, you, look, girl, I want you to promote my stuff. How much do you charge? She's like 15,000. I pay her cash, immediate payment. You know, so that's how they get to make their money. It's business. It's nothing personal. They have to do what they have to do, just like I had to do what I did, you know. Now, my relationship was proper and all that. Now, something bad happened when it comes to my Facebook account. Before I could release my third album, you know, something bad happened whereby the account that I was using, Facebook, I think they've reported it on Facebook that take a look at this account and all that. So my account was actually disabled. it was disabled because I was using auto likes, right? That is not allowed initially, I think. It's illegal to do so according to Facebook policies. You're not allowed to do so. If you are getting likes, let them be real likes, So they've disabled that account. Now I was hurt because they've disabled the account before I could release my third album. Remember, the whole point of me getting those auto likes was so that people can take me serious and download my music, right? That was the initial plan, but they've disabled it. Now I was back to square one. Now I was back to square one in life. And keep in mind, back home, I'm still maintaining the lie that I'm passing. They still think that I'm passing. So my account was disabled. A week later, my roommate's account was disabled as well. So I told him that, you know what, boy, I'm actually tired of living this fake life. I'm tired of faking fame. Where else? At the end of the day, when these girls that we're trying to attract wanna meet us, we are unable to meet them because they will see that we are poor in reality. Namfana, I'm tired. So I want to take a break from this social media thing. So I took a break from Facebook because that was the only social media I had at that time. So I took a break on Facebook, It was like I was doing a rehab for myself because at that time I feel like this thing was making me run mad. It was like I was living in the cyber world rather than the real world, Remember, it's very dangerous for you. Social media is fine, social media is good, but it's very dangerous for you to fully live your life based on social media, that I felt like I was losing myself. Slowly I was losing myself because of desperation of being famous, because of getting rejection wherever I try to get approved and all that. So that was fine. I took a break from everything, and I focused on my relationship and I focused on fixing computers, right? I focused on my relationship, I focused on fixing computers. Now, going towards the end of the year, remember, I was not attending my classes. I was not attending my classes when it comes to school because I was always on Facebook doing these things. I was always on my computer doing music, preparing my third album. So my third album was actually crashed, just like that. So what I did was that I somar just after July 2015, I created a new Facebook account, right? I created a new Facebook account, and obviously, you know how people talk. People will always talk. Now people started questioning me, where are the likes? Why are you no longer famous? Where are those likes that you used to get? What happened to you? Depression was a lot at that time, because one thing I can assure you, it's totally different. When you talk about me, when you attack me or talk bad about me, in a condition that I'm actually poor, it's gonna get to me. But when you talk bad about me in the condition that I'm currently in or at right now, trust me, what you say gets in here and then it gets out. It gets out on the other side, So people were depressing me, asking me all those things. Fine. I released my third album. Nobody reacted to it because I was no longer famous. People were swearing at me on Facebook, and I started working on my fourth album. One thing that I've always kept doing was consistency. Whether people loved it or liked it or not, I was doing my albums. Now that was my third album. It was out. People didn't care, right? People didn't care. And I started working on my fourth album. Fourth album, still in 2015, towards year end, I released it people didn't care as well. Then after my fourth album, I told myself that, you know what, honestly speaking, I'm tired of this, you know. I feel like God is punishing me for all the sins that I've done, you know, for all the bad things that I've done and all that. I felt like it's a punishment, you know. I felt like I was not working hard enough for me to reach my goals, you know. I felt like that. I was like, you know what, nothing is going my way. At least the only thing that was going my way was the relationship that I was in at that moment. And it kept me going. It made me happy. It made me find myself once again, you know. Now, come year end, results, school results. My roommate, he got his results first, he failed. And then I got my results as well, I failed. So we both failed in 2015. Now, that was me failing in university for the third time now. You know, for the third time now. I was failing for the third time now. Now, I told myself that, you know what, just maybe this life thing is not meant for me, you know, because I've tried doing these things, but this life thing is not meant for me, you know. Nothing is actually going my way. And I've thought of suicide there. That is just the honest truth. I've thought of taking drugs, calling the guy that I used to know, just to take drugs so that I can think of more ways, you know, because for no matter how good you are in lying, the universe has its way for catching up with you, you know. I felt like I've been lying to my parents, I've been lying to myself for the longest time, and then now it's time to pay for all my lies. That's how I felt, you know. And I was slowly giving up on hustling at that time. But the only thing which kept me going was the relationship. You see, the relationship that I was in. That's why I'm telling you that the relationship is the main reason why I made it. The relationship kept me going. You know, I had faith that, you know what, I'm gonna make it. So the girl was very, very supportive. You know, whenever I'm down, she would make me smile, make me happy. Whenever I'm down, would have sex and I would be happy again. You know, such things, you know, the little things matter. So I told myself that, you know what, fuck the music industry, you know, fuck the music industry, because the people that I found in the industry, there were certain people that I knew on a personal level, whom I was expecting when they hear their homeboy or their what boy is trying to get in the industry, they would automatically say, boy, come join us, let us push you and all that. So I've given up on music. I was like, I've released 4 albums, nobody cares, fuck the music industry, I quit this shit. As for Facebook, people were no longer, they were always on my case about fame and all that. I was like, you know what, fuck everything. So I deleted everything which had to do with music, right? Around 2015. And Bertwell, my manager at that time, he would try to get me gigs nyana, and I would turn him down. I was like, I'm not interested anymore, you know. I'm tired. Now I'm tired. Now 2015 year end, vele, I could have already gotten my results. I failed. My roommate has failed as well. Both of us. Now, on the 16th of December 2015, I remember I was home. I got an email from TUT. The email says that Kgopotso Mmutlane, student number 213, blah, 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 blah. You have been academically excluded from studying at Tshwane University of Technology. Now I was excluded for the second time again. Now remember, the first time when I got an exclusion, I actually came up with a story, then they took me back. Now, have you been at a point in life whereby you feel like there's just more bad news on top of more bad news? I was feeling that way. My stunt of becoming famous was failing. Nothing was actually going my way. School, I'm failing. My music is failing. Everything was just failing. Now the varsity has excluded me again. Now this was not for the first time, but second time getting excluded at varsity. I was like, okay, now it's fine. It is what it is. I was actually down the whole of 2015. But like I said, whenever I would feel down, my girlfriend would pick me up. She would cuddle with me. She would give me punani, would have sex all day. So I would say, Vele, sex was the only thing which used to make me happy, and the girl, of course. So that used to just randomly keep me going. Now, parents home, they want results. So I sat down with my parents, and I told them that I didn't get my results. Remember, I knew that I failed. I didn't get my results. That was in 2015 towards the end. I didn't get my results because I owe school fees. Now, the university wants you guys to pay at least a certain amount of money so that I can get my results. But I can assure you, my parents, I can assure you that I've actually passed. So 2016 will be my final year. Now, that was me telling my parents, lying to my parents one more time. And in my heart, when I was telling them that 2016 is my last year at university, it was that thing, if whatever that I'm doing in 2016 doesn't work, I'm going to confess everything to my parents and they will officially disown me. They will officially disown me. I was ready for that. So it's like a part of me in 2016. It's like I knew that 2016 I had to be successful. Kim Monada is saying that, did I say the whole day? Yes, King. I was getting late the whole. Nchaga, now I used to be a performer. I used to hit up to 8 rounds a day. 8 rounds, one man. But now, one round masturbation, I'm down and out, and then I sleep. Because now it's no longer my priority. And it reminds me of something. You see these guys who don't have money. These guys who don't have money, they will fuck you, man. Yes, sis. They will hit you up 8 rounds or 10. That used to be me back in the days. But now I have money. It's about me before you. Do you understand? It's about me before you. If I come, I came. We both sleep. If you have a problem, Jonas is my garden boy. Jonas will give you the 8 rounds that you're looking for. Now I'm not a robot. I have better things to do. I have better things to worry about. Getting laid is the least of my problems. Sharp. So, where was I, Kana? Oh, yeah. So I sat down with my parents and then I told them that, you know what, parents, it is what it is. This is my final year in varsity. But in reality, I actually got excluded again for the second time. So come 2016 January. Now I remember when people were saying happy new year, I was actually sad. I was sad. I was a bit down that, you know what, nothing is going my way. I've been thinking of what I was doing from 2013 till 15. Nothing is going my way. And then I told God and I knelt down and I prayed. Remember, I was at some local tavern back home. So what I did was that I went where I could get a little bit of privacy and then I talked to God alone. I'm like, God, I've been hustling. I've been pushing. I know you don't approve some of the things that I used to do and all that, but I'm just trying to make it in life. God, I'm tired of lying to my parents that I'm passing. I'm tired of everything, you understand? So please let 2016 be my year, please. But here is the thing. You can have as many New Year resolutions as possible, right? You can pray as much as you want to pray. But fact remains, for as long as you don't change your ways, nothing will ever change. For as long as you don't change the way you think, nothing will ever change. You can't wanna say, God bless me, where else you're still doing the same mistakes or the same things that you used to do. You don't want to let new opportunities enter in your life and so forth. You're still ignorant and so forth. So yeah, that was it. And Shapo, that was the beginning of 2016, the year which actually made Coach. Now, on social media, on Facebook, I only heard about Facebook, I think, where I was active, and it was not really strong. It was just random, a normal Facebook account. The good part about it was that people have forgotten about what I did back in the days, you know? And that was it, 2016. My parents, I told them, now I'm going back to varsity. This is my final year. I will be graduating in 2017. So this is like my final year. So my mom saw a need for me to actually pay my school fees. So what she did, she told me that, you know what, son, go to school, go and register and study for your final year. I will make a plan so that I can pay your school fees, so that we can see your previous year's results, so that you can get your qualification when you graduate. I will make a plan. God will provide. I was like, okay, mommy. You know, the pain of lying to the only person who takes care of you, you know, I was lying to her. I was not proud of it. It used to hurt me a lot. And every time I'm home, even this past time when I was home, I was reminding her about it, apologizing to her for lying to her about it. But now it's different, because after apologizing, she tells me her problems, that, son, I need 10,000 or 20,000 to do this. Then I transfer her 50,000. You see, so it shows that I'm sorry for wasting her money, her time, her energy, but at least I've made it, you know. So she's proud of me. She's not proud that I lied, but she's proud of me. That's what matters. She forgave me for what I did to her, and I also forgave myself for what I did to her and to myself as well. That's what matters. Now, I went back to varsity, and remember, when I was going back to varsity in 2016, I got excluded again. Now I got excluded for the second time. That was like 4 years in varsity now. 2016, it was my 4th year in varsity, you know. And I went to the varsity and I got the appealing form. Remember, when you get excluded in varsity, you can get the appeals form and fill them in and all that. So I contacted the guy who helped me the previous time when I got excluded. And then I told him that, Chief, I got excluded again. And he's like, don't worry, I also got excluded again for the 5th time. So this guy was like getting excluded for the 5th time, I think. Now I was still on the 2nd time. So he gave me hope that, okay, at least I'm not the only one. So I had to construct a story. Now I had to sit down and think, which story can I tell the university so that they can take me in one more time? Remember, I was no longer into music anymore. I didn't want anything to do with music. I've cut Betuel in my life. I told him that I don't want him to be my manager anymore. The only thing which made sense was the relationship that I was in. Now, I got the form. Now, I had to construct a story. So in my story, this time, I told TUT management or whoever was looking at the appeals that, you know what, I come from Limpopo province, right? I come from Limpopo province, and whenever I would open my books, I see blurriness. I don't know if it's the right word is blurriness or blurriness or whatever. Like whenever I open my books, I don't see anything. And whenever I sleep at night, I would see things, you know. And whenever I'm writing exams, it's like there's something that's disturbing me, something spiritual that's disturbing me. So that's the story which I wrote in the appeal form. Keep in mind, that was a lie. There was no such in my life. I've never seen such in my life. So I used the fact that Limpopo is known for witchcraft. Apologies to the entire province on its own. But I did what I had to do to survive. So I actually wrote, you know what, now I'm getting bewitched and all that. So luckily, I think the person who was reading my story, there was no proof. Remember, you're supposed to provide proof for what you're saying. Luckily, the person who was reviewing my story was from Limpopo, and it's a she. She has seen that before. So the lie that I've written in the book, there was somebody who has seen it in reality. So after that, they've read my story and they've taken me back in. And then she made an appointment to see me. And then I went in to see her. And then she told me that, you know what? The reason why I've taken you back, you are not supposed to be back at this varsity. The reason why I've taken you back is because I can relate to what you were going through. Now imagine, I have to lie and pretend as if I've been through witchcraft. But truth of the matter is, I was not going through that. And then Yana, she had been through that the way she explained to me, you know. And then I explained to her, yeah, it's difficult, but this year I'm going to church. This year I'm going to go to church. The pastor will pray for me and all that, you know. And remember, I was still in Garankuwa at that time. And then they've taken me back to the university. They've registered me to these counseling courses that I had to go through counseling, student counseling at the campus. Because I knew that now I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy, number one, and I'm not bewitched, number two. So I didn't go to the counseling things because in my heart, I knew that this is one last time for the culture. This is one last time for the culture. Whatever that I will be doing in 2016, if it doesn't work out, fuck life. I give up in everything now. Because I felt like I was reaching the limits in terms of my capabilities when it comes to hustling, right? Now, the varsity took me back in. First week, I attended my varsities. First week, my classes very well, I mean. I've attended my classes very well. Second week, I was back to my old ways. I was not going to varsity again. I was back fixing computers, back in my computer business, fixing computers. I was happy. You know, I was actually happy fixing computers and all that. Fine. The relationship that I was in, the girl, she was actually putting pressure on me, right? She was actually putting pressure on me that, Kgopotso, you can't live like this. I mean, you can't live like this. You can't expect me to have a future with you where else you don't want to go to school, you don't want to fix your life in general or go to work. Like you don't have any plans. You better make up your mind about what is it that you want for yourself. And I told her that, don't worry, baby girl. I got this. I got this life thing. I know what I'm doing. That time I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just living because, you know, people are living. Fine. I was fixing computers, making money. Now, around March 2016, my mother gave me a call. I remember it was during the day. She said, son, I actually took a loan. I want you to take the money that I'm going to give you and pay school fees, right? I want you to to pay school fees so that you can graduate next year. Now, I said, where's the money? She said, no, I've applied for the loan, but I'm not approved. I haven't been approved as yet. So a few days later, she actually got approved for the loan. I don't know how much they've given her, but she sent me 20,000. My mother sent me 20,000, right? Now, when she sent me 20,000, keep in mind, I was supposed to pay school fees, right? I was supposed to pay school fees, right? But I told her, okay, mommy, look, because I'm doing my final year, there is financial calculator that's needed, there is books that's needed, there is so many things that I need to do. So how about I take 5,000 and sort out all those things and pay 15,000 to the university? And then she said, okay, fine, you can do so. Now, I didn't do anything with the money. I kept the money safe in my account, right? I was calculating. Guys, I mean, you can't really blame me. You can't really blame me. How can you take money and pay university knowing very well that you were not even part of the university to start with? So I didn't pay the school fees. Initially, the money that was meant for school fees was actually 15,000. The other 5,000, I just made a plan to have it, to have access to it so that I can eat it. You know? Now, what I did, because my girlfriend was putting pressure on me, that so forth, so forth, so forth. So what I did was that I said, baby girl, let's go out on a weekend getaway. Then the first thing she asked me was that, where the fuck do you get money to take me out? I'm like, baby girl, I told you, I got this. Remember, I've put aside 15,000, which I was supposed to pay for school fees. The other 5,000, I took my girl on a weekend getaway. We went to town, CBD, at a hotel. I've spent about 2,500 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was checkout. Right? I went to the hotel with my girl. I paid. We're eating live, We were eating out. Like, we'd go out. Would eat pizza. Would eat all these nice things which we see on television. I was living the life. I even bought her a watch with some of the money. But moral of the story was that when I went back home on Sunday, I was actually left with less than 100 rands when I went home, meaning that 5,000 rands gone over weekend because of a girl. And you can't say I'm stupid. I was actually trying to be romantic. I was just trying to show the love of my life at that time that I can be the type of a guy she wants me to be. I can do that for her. Hey, when I came back, the girl was happy. She was happy, shocked, surprised. When your girl knows you are poor and all of a sudden you're buying her gifts, as much as she would want to question you, where do you get the money? But she will enjoy. She enjoyed. We enjoyed. I don't really regret that moment. Now, when I came back, I was left with 15,000. Right? Now, here's the thing. Remember, from the start of this story, I've told you guys everything. I've told you guys sensitive information, right? There are certain people who know all these things that I've told you. And the reason why I'm telling you now is because you can't use them against me anymore, Now, remember, I'm a hustler. I think like a hustler. So, this childhood friend of mine, he's there in the part 0 and part 1. This childhood friend of mine, I was no longer staying with him in the same residence, student residence as before, but we were close. This nigga comes to me, right? He comes to me and he's like, boy, by the way, one thing me and my roommate and my best friend we had in common was failing. Ever since we went to varsity, we were all failing. That's one thing we had in common. All of us. Betuel included. Betuel was failing. Kgopotso was failing. Fosh was failing. Everybody was failing. The only guy who was passing as part of FBK group was Ponto, only in varsity. Now, this best friend of mine comes to me and he's like, boy, I'm like, yes, boy. He's like, you can see that your music things, they're not working. I'm like, yeah, fuck music. That's not my thing. And he's like, and we need to make money in Fanom because fixing computers won't make you rich. We must get rich because my family told me that if I don't do well this time in school, I'm gonna go back home. And I'm like, you're right, boy, because now, if I don't do well in 2016, I'm gonna go back home and it's over for us. It's completely over for us. So he's like, don't worry, boy, we'll find a way. So my best friend, he's the kind of a guy who thinks like a hustler. Then I'm the kind of a guy who acts like a hustler. So that was the difference. So he had the theory and then I was doing the practicals. So this guy came to me and he's like, boy, there's this guy on social media who's doing these investments. I'm like, investments? And he's like, yeah. There's these coins that you buy on Facebook. You buy these coins, and then after buying them, after 3 months, you get money. I'm like, hey, boy, is this for real? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, this thing might be a scam. Now, the coins that I'm referring to, you know them. Some of you guys might know them. I'm referring to peep coins. If you can remember, there were coins which were called peep coins back around in 2016, somewhere there. I've only found out about them during that time. So peep coins, they were starting as low as 100 rands. It's like you buy these coins for 100 rands and then after a month you get 1,000. I'm like, boy, Musa, I'm gonna get rich. He's like, yeah, boy. And I keep in mind, I have 15,000. I have 15,000 in my bank account. My best friend doesn't know that I have money. The 15,000 I'm supposed to pay school fees. And I did research about it. I went on social media. I checked these people who are doing these things. It seemed so legit. People are talking about it. It's trending. And I'm tempted. I want to take 15,000 to buy these coins so that I can make 1 million after 12 months. Remember my words. 15,000 to buy these coins so that after 12 months I can make 1 million. And then after making the 1 million, it's my calculations, by the way. After making the 1 million, I actually take 15,000, 20,000 and I pay back my mom. And I'm like, Mom, you and I, we are out of each other's lives. Now I'm rich. I don't want your school anymore. Now I'm rich. I'm my own man. You know? It's an idea. But another part of me says, boy, don't do it. Another part of me says, boy, you have to do it because that's the only way you're going to get rich. Coming to think of it, I want you guys to use common sense. Can you invest 100 rands and get 1,000 without understanding how the money came about? Because there, you don't do anything. You buy these things, you keep them, and then you're going to sell them at a higher price. Literally, you don't work for anything, you know? I was like, hey, can I invest my 15,000 and make 1 million? And I'm like, because there was a table. Remember, there was a table. There was a table which shows you, or if you buy this, you can sell them for. So I was there. I was like, I can become a millionaire very fast. Now, my friend, on the other hand, he's busy buying those coins. He's buying them. Now I haven't bought any. After a week or so, he comes back to me and says, boy, I'm like, yes. You see those coins that I told you about? It's like they are working, I'm like, yes. But hey, those ones take time. Those ones take time. You will get rich after a long time because you must wait for the coins to get value. They call it cryptocurrency. So that's how I entered into the foreign exchange market. I want you guys to understand, I didn't just enter into trading and all that. No. And just listen, you'll hear. And he's like, boy, I'm like, yes. There's this new one. It's like this guy, he had a source for getting this quick investment scheme, things which will make you money quick. And then he would bring them to me. And he's like, boy, there's this thing that I know which is called Triple M. I'm like, Triple M. I'm sure you guys remember Triple M. And like, he's like, yeah, you see, comparing Triple M with this coin thing, Triple M is much better. I'm like, yeah. So now, this coin thing, I've never really fallen in love with it that much because I never really understood how it used to work per se, you know. So I was loving the Triple M idea more. You remember Triple M? You remember it very well. And on that table, they're like, you invest this much, you get this much after 2 months. You invest this much, you invest 1,000, you get 6,000 after a month. You invest 10,000, you get 300,000 after 6 months. You invest 100,000, you get 10 million after 1 year. Such things, you know, there was a nice table. Remember, I didn't invest in the Pipcoin thing. I haven't invested in the Triple M thing. Now, the Triple M thing seemed more legit than anything else. That was before I even knew about Forex. That was before I even knew about it. It was one person who used to come with these scams to my face, and I would analyze them and I would look at them. And I think the only reason why I was able to go through, because I didn't know what was going to work and what was not going to work, was that a part of me, I'm still a hustler. Wherever people say we can make money, I'm there. Wherever, you understand, it was just my nature. Whenever they say there's quick money, I'm there. Triple M. I called my mom. I'm like, mommy. She says, yes, son. I'm like, Ash, you see, you are still struggling with school fees, ne? I've actually paid the school fees money, by the way. You're still struggling with the school fees. There is an investment that I know that you can invest money in and you can be able to pay my school fees. And then she said, tell me more about it. I'm like, it's called Triple M, mommy. So I want you to give me at least 1,000 or 2,000 rands so that I can invest in this thing. And then after 3 months or 6 months, we're going to make like 15,000 or 20,000 or even 30,000. I forgot the table, how it used to work. But I think it will be very relevant if I look for the table. Wait, let me look for the table. It's there on Google so that you can understand and remember. How much was I supposed to make? You know, now I'm telling my mom about this thing. And my mom loves money. So she was actually interested, but she was skeptical as to whether this thing is legit or not. So let me Google the Triple M table. I will tell you how much they were promising us. Now, I want you guys to learn, there is nothing for free. You must just use your common sense. So Triple M, I actually got the table right now on Google. Ne? It says that, where is it? Okay. Triple M, it says that if you invest 200 rands, if you invest 200 rands, in 12 months, in 1 year, you will get 25,000. Ne? If you invest 500 rands, in 1 year, you'll get 64,000. If you invest 1,000, in 1 year, you'll get 129,000. If you invest 2,000, in 1 year, you'll get 259,000. If you invest 5,000 rands, in 1 year, you'll get 650,000. If you invest 10,000, in 1 year, you'll get 1.3 million. You see? 15,000, you get 1.9 million. 20,000, you get 2.5 million. And so forth. 50,000, you get 6 million, 6 to 7 million. You see? So I told my mom that give me at least between 1,000 and 2,000. And then I was looking to invest for at least like 6 months. So with 1,000 in 6 months, I was going to get 12,000. And then 2,000 with 6 months, I was going to get 22,000. Right? Those are the returns. It's investments. Triple M, you remember it very well. We are all victims of this thing. Now, my mom agreed that, boy, I'm going to give you 2,000 rands. Please invest in Triple M. Right? So that after 6 months or maybe 1 year, I can have enough money to finish off your school fees. On top of the 15,000 that you already paid, which in reality, I never paid that 15,000. I never paid it. Right? Now, my mom gave me the 2,000 rands. I think she actually took a loan bigger than what she gave me because she had money at that time. But I believe it was a loan. It was part of the loan. So out of the 2,000 that she gave me, I took 500 and I spent it on my girl. You see this girl, ne? I used to sacrifice a lot for her. And then instead, I've invested 1,500 in this Triple M thing. Ne? I've invested 1,500 in this Triple M thing. Now, the sad part about it, now I want you guys to understand, Triple M was working at that time. Here's how it works. It's a pyramid scheme. It's illegal, right? What happens is that you join, but the money that you join with, you are giving previous people who joined before you. And then for you to get paid, more people must join after you. So at that time, there was scandals on television. Checkpoint was doing an episode about it. The government was warning people that this is a scam. Stay away from Triple M. So people were panicking. Imagine, this happened a week after I've invested my money. And then Triple M is falling. People are no longer getting paid because you only get paid when more people are joining. So when people are not joining, you will not get paid. You know? My 1.5 was gone. I felt like crying. Then I called my mom. I told her, mommy, that thing was a scam. Gone. Our money is gone. My mom was worried, but she said, it's fine. At least you tried. So a part of me was glad for out of the 2,000 that my mom gave me to invest, I ate 500. So that gave me hope that, okay, it's fine. At least I ate 500. I've only lost 1.5 and I still have 15,000. So looking at the brighter picture. And then I told my friend, I'm like, aye boy, first you came with this Pipcoin thing. I didn't invest. I didn't lose money in it, but people were starting to lose money in it. People were not getting money in that thing as well. And then you told me to invest in Triple M. I invested in Triple M. I didn't get paid. It turns out it's a scam. Because here's the thing. We didn't have information about this. So there was no way we could know whether this thing is a scam or not. There was only one way to try to find out. I mean, hustlers get hurt out of practicals. You know, you must do actual practicals so that you can learn. So from that point, I learned that, you know what, see me investing in anything, kill me. See me investing, kill me. My 1.5 was gone. And then, my friend, you see this guy, I owe him so much. I owe him more than money. He came back again with the third thing now. Third investment scheme now, apparently. He said, boy, I'm like, yes. I know you lost money in Triple M, and I know I lost money in the Pipcoin thing that I was trying, and people lost money in both Pipcoin and Triple M. So there's this thing again that I want us to do. I'm like, hey. You know, there's a time whereby you get tired of scams. Like, you literally get tired. When a person tells you, yo, there's this, you're like, hey, not today, Satani, not today. That was my response to him. And then he said, Mfanaga, this thing works for real. I'm like, yeah. it works for real. He's like, yeah. So to show that it works for real, I'm gonna join it first. Now, the thing that he was talking about was foreign exchange market. Now, that was Forex. Forex trading. The thing that makes people not sleep even today, celebrities, whenever they see Forex traders, they go mad because they don't understand how can they stop us, you know? That is my industry. You can't tell me anything about this industry. And regardless of how educated you are, I don't care how educated you are. I'm the practical of Forex. When you know the theory, you know Forex out of theory. I'm the practical of Forex. He introduced that thing to me. At that time, I was skeptical. I didn't want to hear anything with Forex or investing. The same way people don't want to hear anything with Forex. I was once one of you guys. Keep in mind, that's just the truth. Because I was tired of scams, just like you guys are tired of scams right now as we speak. I didn't want anything to do with it. Now, my boy, he went on social media and he found this guy, right? He found this guy who was based in Sandton. He was based in Sandton. He was running this Forex classes. And then my boy, he joined. He paid about 2.5. It was 2,500. He paid for the classes before I could even be in this thing. And then after that, he started attending classes. He was going to Sandton, attending Forex classes. And then whenever you'd come back, you'd tell me about it. And I was not really interested in listening to his stories because I was tired of scams, people. Lena, I was tired. Just like you are tired now. I was very tired. He said, boy, this thing is for real. Is this thing for real? And one time I saw that, you know what? The way I love my girlfriend, it's like I'm going to end up spending all the money that I have, like the entire 15,000. I didn't want to find myself in a situation whereby, I've actually eaten 20,000 with a girl, which was supposed to be for my school fees. So one way or the other, a part of me knew that I was not going to pay school fees. That's a fact. Number two, a part of me knew that I had to do something about it. I had to invest in something. It didn't matter what. I had to start a business. I had to invest in something. Then when he was busy telling me about it, I started falling in love with it slowly. But the first thing that I told myself was that I'm going to do research about this thing, right? I'm going to do research. Now I went on social media and I searched Forex traders. And then I found them. I found top dogs, you know. Unfortunately, I won't call them by the names, but out of respect purposes, I'm going to call their names. Out of respect purposes. I found Andile Maisela. I still respect him even today. I found Prince Mazibuku. He still has my respect. I found Cashflow. I still respect him. I found Ref Wayne. I still respect him. I found Sandile Shezi. I still respect him. So just to name a few. So those were the Forex gurus that I found at that time, of which is the main reason why even today I can never say I'm competing with any of them. That's why even today I'm doing me. I'm always being myself, you know. I'm always being myself. But as for these small boys who came after me, in the industry, they can't tell me anything. So shout out to the gurus, because the truth is that there was no single day whereby I was not going through their walls. I was going through their social media timelines almost every day just to find motivation in this thing, you know. I don't think if they were not there, regardless of what people say, fuck what people say. Because now people are saying these things about me now. So fuck what people say. One thing those guys taught me is that you can never give up on your dream. So shout out to them. I've been stalking them almost every day. Stalking them. You know, Andy Lemaisela, I would see his videos, trading, making 100,000. I'm like, how does this, okay, I'm not sure if it was Andile or it was Prince Mazibuku. Actually, I think it was Prince Mazibuku before Andile, yeah. He used to make like $27,000, 300,000. And I would check it on Google. It will be like 300,000. I'm like, ah! And remember, with people, to show that you are making money, people need to see something. So I would check his lifestyle. He's driving a nice car, staying in a nice house. And on the other side, people are saying, Forex is a scam, Forex is a scam. And I'm like, man, fuck people. Fuck what people say. I'm going for this thing. So I've found motivation in those guys. Shout out to them for keeping the industry alive, even though some of them have retired. But the truth of the matter is that they've created a path for traders like me. You see, that's why nobody can ever tell me anything, even today. If you don't support or love my industry, fuck you. I'm saying it now, right now, fuck you. So shout out to them for opening the path for people like us. Therefore, I believe that I've also opened a path for upcoming traders in the industry. You know, I've done that. I believe that I've played my part. Now, a time came for me to trade Forex, right? A time came for me to trade Forex now. Now, I had two options. Option number one was to look for somebody to teach me how to trade, right? But problem at that time was that, there's nothing for free, right? Those guys were charging. They were charging like about 5,000 or so. So I had a choice to take 5,000, pay for classes, learn how to trade, and then after that, take 10,000 and trade with it, But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Especially Ref Wayne. I've seen his pictures before. This guy was poor before. But slowly, he developed and transformed himself into the millionaire or the billionaire that he is today, right? I'm like, I can do this. I'm going to use these guys to motivate myself to do this, right? So I didn't pay for any classes, by the way. I didn't pay for any classes, but I was learning each and every day from these guys. By just looking at their pictures, I was learning. Listening to their videos, I was learning, making notes, motivating myself. What I'm trying to say to you is that it's not a must for you to pay anyone to teach you how to trade. If you want to learn how to trade, you can do it on your own. It's all in your mind, honestly. You can do it on your own, right? Because nobody can actually make you successful. And at the same time, I was asking myself, Hori, why don't these guys teach us how to trade for free? Because they are making money already. But me being me today, I can reassure you, for as long as you are not fucking there for me when I was poor, I'm not going to give you anything for free. I was alone. You must be alone as well. There's nothing for free. Nothing for free. So at that time, I didn't understand why these guys they teach us for free. But me going through the experiences that I've went through alone, keep in mind, when you lose money in Forex, you lose money alone. Nobody cares. But as soon as you make profit, everybody is on your back. Teach me how to trade. Teach us for free because you're making money. Fuck you, bro. Where the fuck were you when I was blowing accounts alone? Having sleepless nights, lying to my parents all these years. Where the fuck were you? You are nowhere to be found. Now that I'm making money, you are here. Fuck you, dog. Fuck you. You can say whatever you want to say. You can go to wherever you want to go. Fuck you. I ain't going to teach you shit for free. There's nothing for free. Even if I make 100 billion, you can never get anything for free. Never. I've learned that. It's pain. It's pain working through success. It's pain. And you can't share certain things with people. That is the pain of success. At that time, I didn't understand why. So I've opened an account. I've opened an account under XM. XM was the first Forex broker that I've used. I've actually found XM on Google. So I just Googled top 10 Forex brokers and I found XM as being a part of the list. And the main mistake that I made, was to enter into Forex without knowledge of what I'm doing. That is the first mistake that I made. Now, today, we have traders who look at us and they look at us. The following week, they open a trading account. They want to trade Forex. That is a mistake. You know, we have people who look at this Forex trading thing from a distance and they try it and then they fail and then they say it's a scam just because they failed. That is their mistake, you know. And I've made that mistake. So I deposited $1,000. $1,000 was equivalent to 15,000 rands at that time, according to the exchange rate. So I've opened an account on the XM and so forth. So my account was approved. Looking at the calendar, when I've opened the account, it was on a Friday, I think. It was on a Friday in 2016. I'm trying to get the date, but somewhere around the 2nd of February, that's when I started trading Forex. It was on the 1st. Yeah, the 1st of April 2016. That is when I've opened my Forex trading account. A real account. I never traded a demo account, right? I started with a real account. That is my first mistake. That is the first mistake that I made. Trading without knowledge, not understanding what I was doing, you know, in the name of wanting to make money, in the name of wanting to be rich. Now, I've deposited $1,000. Monday, I remember people were coming back from Moria. I remember it was Good Friday, just after Good Friday, somewhere there. On the Tuesday, the 5th of April 2016, that's when I actually started trading Forex. Now, remember, you guys, all of you guys who are watching here, you are not there. I was alone. That is why even today, I do things my way. I was alone. Always remember, nobody was there for me. None of you guys. You're only here because you know I've made it. That's just the reality. I've started trading. I've read a bit that there is lot sizes, there is leverage and so forth. So I didn't really understand what I was doing. So what I did was that I would look at the market. When it goes up, I would buy. When it goes down, I'd sell, you know. Now I was using the lowest lot size, which is 0.01. Then I've seen it that with this lot size, I will not make money. So I increased my lot size without understanding the risks involved. You must always understand the risks involved when you invest your money. You will lose, people. You will lose. And when you lose, you will be alone. Whether I'm your mentor or not, when you are losing, don't involve me. You must be alone. That is the truth. I was alone. Now I've seen it that this small lot sizes, I will not make money. So I increased my lot sizes. I went for 0.10 lot size 1. Now I was starting to make a bit of money. Now within 2 days, I've taken the account from 1,000 to 1,200 and something dollars. This simply means that I've actually made $200. Now I had an option of withdrawing my 15,000, right? So that I can be left with $200 so that I can trade with the broker's profits. But I was greedy. I wanted to make money. I wanted to make money so bad, right? Now, Thursday, I traded. I experienced a couple of losses, but they were not bad. So on Friday, there was, I'm not sure, but yeah, there was something which was happening. Something which was happening fundamentally. I think, I'm not sure if it was NFP or it was CAD, which comes with NFP normally. But something was happening. So I was on a trade before. I was on lot size 2, if I remember correctly. So I was sitting on a profit, right? Sitting on a profit. So when I was sitting on a profit, one heart told me that exit before 2:30. Remember, I didn't know what time to enter, what time to exit. But I just decided to know what, I just exited. Now, after I've exited, 2:30 came. The direction that I've exited based on, which was a sell, NFP went down. Meaning that had I not exited, I would have made money, right? But I've exited. So when I see the market going down, I entered with a sell. Lot size 2, sell. And then I made little profit, like $200 fast. You know, NFP or CAD, how it behaves. Everything is so fast. I increased lot size to lot size 5. And then when the second minute candlestick rejected, it went up. That was the last time my account was blown. Remember, I was alone. I've always been alone. I don't owe to help any of you guys. I will help where I can, but it's not a must for me to help you guys. Always remember that. In this life thing, you are always alone. In this success journey, you are always alone. Right? No matter who you look up to, you are always alone. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, my account was wiped. It was on negative. I've lost my 15,000. I've lost the little profit that I've made. You know what I did? The first thing that I did was to turn off the laptop. I turned off the laptop. I slept. But I couldn't sleep for like almost 30 minutes. I turned on the laptop. The honest truth is, I've always thought what happened to me was a dream. I've turned on the laptop. I've opened the MetaTrader 4. The balance was 0. My money is not there. I've turned off the laptop. I thought maybe the laptop is crazy now. I've turned off the laptop. And I turned it on again. The balance was still 0. It's like I've done it more than 5 times, turning it off, turning it on, thinking that there must be a mistake. There is no way I can lose 15,000 just like that in seconds. There is no way. Then I said, you know what? Today was just a dream. When I wake up tomorrow, my money will be there, and then I will withdraw it, and then I will go pay school fees. Now, I had a mentality that now I'm willing to pay school fees. That simply means that a part of me knew that I'm in deep shit. I slept. The following day, in the morning, first thing that I did, I turned on the laptop with excitement. I don't know who I was trying to fool. When I checked the balance on my thing, it was still 0. I checked account history. It shows that I've lost money. I've contacted the broker. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. You guys are scams. You see, which is what's happening right now. Most people invest money they are not willing to lose in Forex. When they lose it, they start accusing mentors. They start accusing brokers. Where else they've actually done these activities without being emotionally ready. You know, you need to be like emotionally ready. Forex is not for weak people. Forex is not for the weak. If you know you are weak, you are emotional, don't trade Forex. That's a fact. Get inspired, go sell Herbalife somewhere. Don't come in the industry if you are a crybaby. This industry will teach you to be a real man at the age of 17. You will think like a real man. This industry. Now it's fine. I've contacted the broker saying there must be a mistake. They told me that there is no mistake. Broer, you lost money. You increased your lot size and you lost money. And now I had to come to life. I had to slowly come back to reality that fuck, my mother's 20,000 is gone. Even though she knows that 15,000 was supposed to be for school fees. The other 5,000, I just scammed her so that I can take my girlfriend on a vacation. And don't you guys act like saints. You've lied to your family members, taking girls out with their money. So I'm not the first guy to do this. Now I had to come to reality. Now I was going through depression, right? I was going through depression, that, you know what, my life is fucked, guys. The varsity has taken me back. They've given me a last chance. And shit, I'm seeing shit. Like, it's fucked up now. The only thing that's still going well in my life is my relationship. But everything else is fucked. Everything, nothing is going my way. What should I do? What must I do in this case? You know? And I told myself that, you know what, I'm going to take a break from trading. I'm going to take a break from trading. So I took 1 week break without thinking about Forex or touching anything related to Forex. You know, I took about a week, you know. And the reason why this thing used to eat me a lot was because my friend, my best friend, the one who introduced me to Forex, he didn't know what I was going through. I didn't tell anybody about it. Even my roommate didn't know that I was going through depression. You know, it was more like it was a secret. I was actually hiding it, that I'm actually going through a depression of some sort. You know, so people were unable to detect. Now, as I'm thinking that, okay, my birthday is next month, right? At that time, I was born on the 17th of May, and I'm talking about incidents which were happening in April, during the progress of April. And as I will be birthday next month, you know what? I need to bring back my money. So I want people to understand. After losing my 15,000, which was meant for school fees, which my parents believed I paid school fees at that time, I decided that, you know what, now I'm going to go back to Forex. I'm going to go back to Forex. But this time, I'm going back for knowledge, number one. This time, I'm going back to get my 15,000 back. That was my spirit at that time, you know. And at that time, I've desperately wanted to attend Forex classes, you know, from any of the guys who were on top at that time, you know. But problem was, attend classes using which money? Because one thing I know for sure is that those guys were not gonna make me rich, but they were gonna give me the knowledge that I need. I can only make myself rich. You can only make yourself rich. Nobody is going to make you rich. So that's how I started developing the concept: run after knowledge first, and then money will follow you. So that was me running after knowledge, knowing that my 15,000 will follow me after. So I've sat down and I said, you know what? What do I have? What do I have on the table? Now I need to do research about Forex. I need to understand what I'm trading. Remember, at that time, people like Sizwe Dlomo and these people who are talking nonsense about me or us as traders, they were not there. They are never there. When you're alone, they are never there. They come only after you make it. You know, I was alone. I remember. Now, I wanted to talk to my girl about it. So I tried talking to her about it. And the words that came out of her mouth was that this thing of yours is a scam, you know? This thing of yours doesn't exist. There's no way you can make money on the phone. Kgopotso, you need to stand up and go work like other men. And we had a disagreement there. I'm like, this thing is working. I can show you people who have made it in this thing. And she repeated her words. This thing is a scam. And I'm like, okay, fine, it's a scam, sharp. I stopped talking to her about it from that moment. You see, that's how I was. If I know you are negative when it comes to the ideas or the hustling that I have, I'm going to cut you out of it. So I've cut her out of talking to her about Forex, you know, of which I know there are guys right now who are going through what I was going through. You know, your partner doesn't support you in this trading thing. But funny enough, make money, you will see the true colors of women. But at that time, it's fine. So I started doing research. The first thing was to go on Google, you know, what is Forex market? You know, just maybe if I have asked Google that question first, just maybe I wouldn't have lost my money. So I was starting to blame myself, that why didn't I do research about this thing? So I found out what Forex is just commonly an online market, to put it in that sense, whereby you buy and sell currencies, foreign currencies to be precise, a comparison of different countries who are fighting for power in a way, more like America and SA. They're actually fighting which currency has more value than the other, of which America, which is US dollar, has more value than us. So I found out about such things. I didn't know. And the second question I asked myself was that, is Forex legit? And then I found my answers there. Google told me that Forex is legit. And then I asked myself why. So as I was reading more about it, I found out banks, you see banks that are trading Forex. So how can something that's being traded by banks be a scam? So I started developing interest. I'm like, okay, this thing is better than Pipcoin. This thing is better than Triple M, because even banks are doing it, And when I'm saying banks, I'm not referring to the small banks that I'm talking about Citibank, I mean. I'm talking about a Swiss bank. I'm talking about Barclays. You see, Barclays English Premier Soccer League or something like that. That one which has Manchester United. The term Barclays, I'm talking about that one. Barclays Bank. They're into Forex. I'm like, okay, so if big banks, they're into Forex, then it means that I'm on the right path. Then as I continued investigating, I found out that now this one was a selling point. This one was a selling point to me. I found out that foreign exchange market is actually in the Bible. Like the Bible that Forex is in the Bible. Now that one was a selling point. You see, from that moment onwards, I didn't need my girlfriend to convince me that Forex is for real. I didn't need my parents to convince me that Forex is. I didn't need anybody, a celebrity or anyone. For as long as it's in the Bible. For as long as it's in the Bible. It's there in the Bible. The letter for Forex, remember Bible has different versions, right? The letter for Forex is Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1 to 6. It states that invest your money in foreign exchange, because one of these days you'll make profit, right? When you make profit, invest your profit in several places, because you can never know the kind of bad luck you will have in this world. From after reading that verse, I was actually reading it from Google, right? Before I could see it from a real Bible. Therefore, you are coming to me now as a celebrity. You think you know it all, and you're telling me that Forex is a scam. Fuck you. You are coming to me as an individual. You are telling me that Forex is a scam. Fuck you. Fuck everyone who's saying Forex is a scam, because it's in the Bible. That shit is in the Bible, dog. Put it correctly and say Forex traders, and not all. Certain Forex traders are scammers. Then I will agree with you. Don't say Forex is a scam. There we will fight. You and I will fight, and I will bring Jesus in the fight. It means that you will be fighting against me and Jesus now. Because I believe God was not stupid when he put it in the Bible. Right? It's in the Bible. So if you are saying that Forex that's in the Bible is a scam, scam kamao. Scam kamao. Urengi. It's a scam while it's in the Bible. Scam kamao. Scam is your mother in case you are in an international, and scam is your father. Because this thing is a Bible. Rather say certain Forex traders are scammers. Therefore, I won't argue with you because you have your reasons. Right? So that's how I got to develop this passion for trading. That's why even today, nobody can ever tell me anything that's going to make me leave the industry. Nobody. You can bring them one by one, billionaires, trillionaires, employees, no one. It's in the Bible. In the name of Jesus, Can I get an amen, please? Can I get an amen in the name of Jesus? Now, the first step was that I needed to trade. I needed to trade. I needed to trade. That was the first step. But now, how do I trade without having money? Now, I needed capital to trade. So my business for fixing computers at that time was not going well. My business for fixing computers at that time was not going well. So I was not able to make money that much in terms of fixing computers. It's like I fixed all the computers which were sick at that time. So I needed to make money. So the only person who was going to assist me was my mother. So what I did, I gave my mom a call, I'm like, Mommy, she's like, yes. Remember when I made you join Triple M and sorry, our money got lost and all that? She's like, yes, I remember. I want nothing to do with those things. I'm like, now I found this other one. And then she says, Kgopotso, I'm tired of your things. I'm tired of your scams. Please focus on graduating, focus on studying, and leave these things. That time, Mommy didn't understand that I was not studying. I was there on the system as a student, but I was not studying, So I'm like, Mommy, please give me some money so that I can learn how to trade this thing. Even 500 is fine. She said, no, I'm not going to give you anything, Kgopotso, focus on school. And I'm like, okay, Mommy. So after that call, I'm like, you see, this woman doesn't know me. I will show her. A week passed, I called her. Mommy, there's a camp. There's a camp at school. We need 1.5. You see, we need to borrow and hire this tent. We're going on a camp. It's important. Companies will be coming so that we can learn more about the kind of job we'll be doing the following year. And then, you see, that's when I noticed that my mother had money, but she had money for certain things. Whenever I would mention school, she would give me money. But if I say I don't have clothes, I don't have shoes, I don't have a cell phone, she says she doesn't have money. Whenever I say school, she has money. So I noticed that, if I say I want to buy this, you don't have money. But if I say school, you have money, I will deal with you. I will deal with you accordingly. Mommy, I need to go to a camp 1.5. She sent it. I took the 1.5, I deposited it into Forex. Now keep in mind, I only know the theory about Forex. I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't really know what I'm doing. Now I traded during the progress of May. I was trading low-key. Betwell didn't know I was trading. Kuto didn't know. Fosh didn't know. All the FBK guys that I was with at that time didn't know that I was trading. Even my best friend didn't know that I was trading. I was making everything a secret, which is the trick with success. If you want to be successful, keep your plans secret. The only reason now I can come to the live right now and say, people, I'm thinking of going to buy a car tomorrow. Which car can I buy? And then even if you can pray to your Satan and say, let coach not buy a car, there is nothing you can do. You are too late. You can't stop me now. I've made it. I'm beyond your level now. You can't stop me. But if you haven't made it, it's very important that you keep your plans very private. When you make it, it's impossible for people to stop you. Now, I believe I'm a living proof. How long have you been seeing people talk nonsense about me, per se, from Twitter? How long have you seen? Just not long ago, I just got another car. They are talking. I'm doing my things. My life goes on. How long have you heard things about me? They are talking. My life goes on. You see, it's because I've made it. You can't stop me where else you didn't make me. Only God can stop me because He's the one who has made me. Right? Keep your plans private until you have made it. When you're successful, whether they know or not, there is nothing any witch, I know witches are watching, any witch, there is no witch which can stop you. Now, I've kept it a secret because I knew if I told anybody that I'm trading, they would give me negativity. Trading is a scam, and eventually you'll end up believing that. From that point onwards, I stopped listening to poor people. Hi Gabi. Hi Gabi, ne? Not in a bad way. Hi Gabi, not in a bad way. But from that point onwards, I stopped listening to poor people. Poor people's mentalities, it's like they are poor as well. So I knew if I told my surroundings, because they were poor just like me, they were going to tell me that it's a scam. So that's why it's very important that you must keep your things private. Unfortunately, when you are selling Herbalife, you can't keep it private. But if it was possible, you were supposed to keep it private. Because once you tell us that you are selling Herbalife, we are going to tell you, I'm one of them. I'm going to tell you that, Herbalife doesn't work. Herbalife doesn't work. But the truth of the matter is I know nothing about Herbalife. And if you listen to me, you'll end up giving up on selling Herbalife. Unfortunately, it's said that you can't keep that a secret. But with Forex, you can keep it a secret that you're trading. People will not be aware that you're trading. Now, I've traded with the $100 that was supposed to be camping money, and I've lost it eventually. Ne? But here's the thing. When I was losing it, I was actually having a book whereby I was making notes. Like per movement, I was writing it down. It's like I was crazy. Writing it down. Now, my girlfriend noticed that I'm actually fading away from the relationship. I'm no longer as committed as I used to be. There's this thing that I'm busy with, but she doesn't know what is it that I'm busy with. And at that time, I couldn't tell her that I'm trading Forex because she was going to tell me to stop trading. Then I stopped trading. Then I become an employee like her. Fuck no. I was not born to look at other people perish and get successful in life. No. I was born to be a leader that I am today. I was born to be a winner. I was born to make my dreams come true. I was not born to work for anyone. Next. So I was like, you see, this one wants me to be an employee. I'm not going that route. But at the same time, I didn't have a choice, because even if I wanted to become an employee, it was impossible because I was failing at school. So I had no choice but to keep on doing what I was doing. I had no choice. Now I have blown the $100. And after blowing, I called my mom again. I'm like, Mommy, I don't have food anymore. Please give me 300. She gives me 300. I take the 300. Back to Forex again. I trade. Now, the only good thing that I was doing at that time was that I was applying risk management. Even though I would lose in the long run, but it was no longer as immediate as it used to be before. So there was a balance. So I would blow the 300 rands. And after that, I kept on asking my mom for more money. Throughout the rest of April, on my birthday, she gave me 1,000. I only spent 100 rands. I bought a cake from ShopRite and two liters. You see, there's this 2 liter which is called Kingsley. It used to be my favorite. Now I don't want to see that thing. Kingsley, I bought Kingsley. We celebrated my birthday at that time. The rest of the money, about 900, I've deposited it into Forex. And I still lost. Now, every journey, I was losing, yes, but I was learning. And on every journey, I was alone. I'm going to emphasize that. I was alone. Now, I knew that at some point, I have to make a sacrifice. If I want to be successful, I need to start thinking differently. I need to start behaving differently. I can't do the same things which everyone is doing. I need to be different, And from that moment onwards, when we were approaching June, now my relationship, it was still okay. But then again, there was a problem in my relationship. It was okay, but there was a problem. So because my girlfriend has taken me as that guy who's useless. When your girlfriend knows, my boyfriend is useless, and It's fine. I love him the way he is. So she knew I was useless, right? And she was starting to be friends with this guy, you know? This guy, they were studying together. This guy was teaching her some of the things from school and all that. And I used to get jealous, you know. I'm like, you see, this is how I'm going to start losing my woman. My plans are not working and so forth. Nothing was just going my way, you know. So this girl, after she started spending time with this guy, her mentality started changing. Now, gents, here's the truth, man. Never let your girlfriend be friends with someone who's better than you. Free advice, gents. You must never let your girlfriend be friends with someone who's better than you. Because women observe, once she's there, she's gonna get to see how stupid you are. She's gonna get to see how useless you are. She's gonna get to see that you don't have a future, actually. You see? So if you hear your girlfriend saying, yo, I'm friends with a Forex trader, hey, Mjita, end that relationship. Her and that Forex trader, they must stop talking immediately. Because that girl, she's going to see a better somebody than you. I get when you're oppressed. You can't think. I get when you're following the system like this. You're doing what our parents were doing. You can't think out of the box. Your girlfriend will meet people who can think out of the box. That's what happened to me. So she met a guy who thinks out of the box, you know? Because whenever we are together, 90% of the time, she'll talk about the guy not being aware herself. For example, I say, yo, there's this what I've seen. Yo, should say, yeah, I've heard this guy tell me about it. Like everything in our relationship was starting to be about this guy. And then I was curious, what is it that this guy has that I don't have? When I investigated, I noticed this guy is smart, but he's smart when it comes to school. Now I'm smart when it comes to the streets. So basically, I'm street smart, he's profession smart. So this guy was filling my girlfriend with ideas about the future, that when they graduate, they need to find this type of a job, they need to find this type of a house, they need to buy this type of a car, you know, such things, you know. And at the same time, you know how girls are. So most of the time, my girlfriend would ask me that, babe, let's go out. And then I will say, babe, I don't have money. And she'll say, Kgopotso, I don't want your money. I know you don't have money. I'm saying, let's go out. Let's just take a walk. Let's walk to the mall. I know you can't afford a taxi. You can't afford a venture. A venture, funny enough, now I'm driving a G63, which is the same as a venture. Hey, life is not fair. Hey? You can't afford a venture. You can't afford transport. I understand. I just want us to walk. I mean, it will mean a lot to me. And I would think in my head, I'm like, should I walk with my girl to the mall to make her happy, or should I stay in my room and investigate what is it that moves the Forex market so that I can know the right time to trade? And the decision, Forex will always win. And I'll tell her that, babe, I can't, I'm still working on something now and so forth. And she would get disappointed. Kanti, every time, whenever she proposes that we should do something, the same thing that she's proposing, she's already doing it with another guy. The same guy. They would go to the mall, holding hands. The same things that she wanted from me. I was not doing that because I was committed to hustling, you know. And they would buy ice cream, eat together, spend more time. So that's all she ever wanted from me, you know. By me saying so, I'm trying to tell you guys that Lena, from my side, I'm not perfect, right? I had my flaws. Lena, she's not perfect. I'm also not perfect, you know. We've both had our flaws and so on, you know. So she would do all those romantic things with the guy, but they were not dating. But slowly, obviously, when a guy does that, Vele, he wants the girl. I knew that motherfucker wanted my girlfriend, and there's nothing I can do about it, you know. and constantly would fight about me not having a future. She would force me to go to school. I was actually lucky to have such a girlfriend who would force me to go to school. She would force me, and I would say no. No, I'm not going to school. And on the other hand, that guy used to love school. So it's like this girl was in a situation whereby she could see her future and her present. Her present was me, useless. Her future had much brighter hope. So she was weighing all her options. I usually see a post on Twitter saying that a girl can dump you before you even know. Meaning that a woman is capable of being in a relationship, yet still the relationship is over. Yena, she has dumped you. It's only a matter of letting you know. So I think from June 2016, I was in that situation whereby I was dumped, but I didn't know. Sharp. When it comes to school recess, June holidays, the schools were closed and all that after our exams. I've written my exams, but I didn't care about exams. On multiple choice, I would write paragraphs. I was not writing to pass, actually. I didn't care about school anymore. When it's time to go home, she would say, babe, let's go home. And I would say, yo, baby, I'm sorry, I can't go home. And she would get mad that I'm not going home. At the same time, that other nigger was going home with her in the same taxi. I was going through a lot, people. So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm not going home because I need to study further about this trading thing. And then my girl is going home with that guy that I don't like. And here's the thing. She used to tell me each and everything about that guy because she didn't know that I had a problem with the guy. I had a problem which I never really told her about, Sharp, she went home with that guy. She told me she arrived safely. Now, the main reason why I didn't go home during June, now that is the season which I told you guys that I was actually, I didn't have food. And I cooked one piece of chicken for almost like 6 days or plus. That's how it started. So during recess, I told myself that I will not go home. Reason being that if I go home, I will not be as committed as I was, because you know how it is at home. When you go home, they will send you there and there. You won't really have privacy. They will only welcome you when you first arrive, but the following day you start doing those normal household chores. I hated that. So I told myself that I'm going to sacrifice going home so that I can learn about trading, so that I can learn about Forex market in general. Now it's fine. Everybody went home. It was only me and the caretaker. Now I called my mom and I asked for money so that I can buy groceries. She gave me 500. I just lied to her saying that there are practicals that I need to do. That's why I'm not coming home, because she was not interested in knowing about Forex. And it's funny how today she's even the one calling me saying, son, did you trade today? I'm like, no, mommy. She's like, okay, it's fine. But back then she didn't want anything to do with Forex. You see, these parents are not loyal. Hi. So I was left with my caretaker at the student accommodation. So Miami gave me money to buy a few grocery. So I didn't buy grocery. I put all the money in Forex. And I lost it again. So it's like, that's why when people ask me, how many accounts have you blown? I've lost count. I've lost count. So I've blown the account. I've lost again. Now, I don't have food anymore, you see. And the caretaker and I didn't get along, right? So the caretaker was that type of a guy who would actually cook 6 pieces of chicken and eat alone. Me, on the other hand, I didn't have anything to eat. The reason why we didn't get along, it was because of this. He wanted my girlfriend, but I didn't know about it. So the girl rejected him for me. So ever since that, he didn't like me. So even when I was hungry, there was no way I could go to the guy and say, Bruruaka, hey, or please give me one piece of chicken, or at least borrow me. I will bring it tomorrow after eating. You see, I didn't have the nerve because he was not going to give me. He didn't like me. So I had to make a plan. I had like a week to survive, before people could actually come back. When I checked the fridge, I was left with the photo is still there on social media. The photo is still there. If even on my timeline, it's still there. The photo whereby I was sitting down. Okay, I'm not sure if it's the exact photo. No, it's not the one. But yeah, the situation was similar to that. I was left with one piece of chicken, right? And I have a minestrone. You know minestrone soup. I had raja. I had mayonnaise. I had tomato sauce. I had rice. That's stage one starter pack. Complete. I don't need anything. But now the problem is that if I cook the chicken and I eat the chicken, the following day I'm going to see shit. Because I don't have money. I've already blown the account with the money that I was supposed to use to buy grocery. And family members are useless as well. You can't call any uncle and say, uncle, give me money. We are all broke, It's fine. I came up with a plan that, okay, I'm going to cook the chicken. When I cook the chicken, I'm going to put in minestrone soup inside. And then I'm going to cook rice. There was enough rice. Then when it's time to dish up, I dish up the rice. I put in mayonnaise. I put in tomato sauce. Tomato sauce, I'm referring to tomato sauce, by the way. Mayonnaise, I'm referring to mayonnaise. I put tomato sauce. I put mayonnaise. Then instead of putting the meat, I put in the soup only. You see, fact remains. For as long as the soup was made while the meat is rotating inside the pot, that simply means that the soup will come out with the spirit of the meat. Meaning that more or less, it's your belief. I believed that the soup is actually the meat. So I was eating the soup well. Morning, evening, same meal. Following day, because now that piece of chicken has already been cooked, what I do is that I just cook rice from scratch. And I now put in more soup inside that piece of chicken. And now, coming to think of it now, it sounds impossible, it sounds funny. Because it was not you in that situation, right? You think it's a joke. it's good. It's fine. It's fine. So, I would warm up everything. I would dish up the same way. Day 3, same spirit. Now, the only day which I ate the piece of chicken was when I knew that, okay, now I will be going home, The last day, I ate, I cooked, I put in soup again in the pot. I cooked. Now I ate even the piece of chicken. Even today, people still think this is a joke. It's fine. Continue thinking that way because it was not you in that situation, right? So obviously, when I was eating the piece of chicken, it was no longer nice because it has been recooked almost 5 times or 6 times. It was no longer nice. So after that, I went home for like a weekend. Then the following week, on a Wednesday, I think schools were coming back. So somehow I came back with everyone, But during that progress, whereby I was eating one piece of chicken, I've had a purpose to live. I've had a purpose to push. I've had a purpose. I've had a reason to even push further. I've had a reason to push beyond my limits, And I felt like that was me reaching the final stage of poverty. Only to find out that more is still to come. More is still to come, So when we came back, July started, people were going back to school and so forth. I was not interested in going back to school because I knew I was failing either way. It's the same. Now, my success actually started from July. Now, from July, because obviously when I came back, they gave me money for grocer. So I took that money for grocer. Again, you see, if there's one thing that I'm all about, is that I think I have a problem of learning. I think I don't learn. After losing so many times, they give me money to buy groceries when I go back on campus. I still take the money and put it on the Forex market. I gain. I don't know what was going on with me, but I think that happens when you have this passion for success and people will never understand. So I put in money. Luckily, when people are back at the house, there's no way I can sleep hungry because I can go around asking for food. They knew me as a comedian in the house. So I was that type of a guy whom, when everybody goes to school, when they come back, they come to my room to get comedy. I used to entertain everyone in the house, tell them jokes. So even when I ask for food, it was okay. It's Kgopotso, it's very funny. Girls used to like me for that. Now I was trading, I was pushing. Then I started learning that Forex market depends on fundamental more than technical. Now I started doing research. I'm like, what is it that moves the market during this certain times? So based on the experience that I've seen, there were this long movements that I didn't know how to explain them. So I found out that there is what we call fundamental trading, right? And I didn't have experience about it. So I needed to find motivation. I went on Facebook and then I searched for Ref Wayne. I watched his videos. He was showing trading NFP fundamental. So he would make a lot of money in just seconds. And I'm like, oh, so this guy is trading this thing. Now I needed to find out, when does the market move that way? That was my next move, right? So I went back to my notebook, I investigated. I found out there's fundamental analysis, there's technical analysis. Technical analysis is what I was doing actually. Looking at the market and analyzing, thinking or deciding on behalf of the market, where do you think the market is going to go, which is precisely nonsense. Then fundamental on the other side, it's facts. It's a fact. It's not something that we can discuss. It's not your opinion. It's not anyone's opinion. It's a fact. If they say the market is going down, it's going down. If the market is going up, it's going down. It's a fact. It's not an analysis. It's not about what I think. It's not about what you think. Fundamentally, it's a fact. So I found out their facts. I Googled and I found out there's NFP. Then I started learning about them. You see, I wish traders who join Forex now had the same passion as me back in the days. Because these Forex niggas now, they're lazy. They pay for mentorship, then they try trading 2 times, 3 times. Jiggy jiggy, they are rappers. They are no longer trading. Or jiggy jiggy, they're saying, this thing is not working. After failing, they are not even making extra efforts in finding out what is it that moves the market. Most of them, they only found out from me that Forex is in the Bible. They didn't even care. Hey, Mara, at the same time, they say they want to be successful. I don't understand this Forex boys. Sharp. I found out about that. And then at the same time, I've looked at Prince Mazibugu's trades as well. He was making a lot of money. But with him, I didn't know which method was he using, because he was trading gold at that time. I didn't really know what was going on, but I would analyze. Whenever he would buy, I would buy with him. When a trader posts their results, they record a video where else they're on a profit with a buy, and they post it before closing. So if I see that he did not close the trade, I would also enter with that buy just to see, and then I will make little profit. But the challenge was that I didn't really understand what is it that he used to trade at that time, Now, that was it. I was learning, making notes. Then around August, somewhere there, I found out that there is investing.com, which is an app which basically it's all about fundamental and technical at the same time. And inside that investing.com app, I found out there's what we call an economic calendar. So basically, an economic calendar is a calendar for investors. It's like you can know what's gonna happen next week. Like for example, on Thursday, I know that Australia as a country is gonna be releasing a data. Therefore, I'm gonna be trading Australia. You know, on this day, I know that Nasdaq is gonna be releasing news. In a sense, or Facebook, Netflix, they are going to be releasing news. Therefore, I know what to do. I know how to trade. I know what I should do. Such things. I started learning about that. Even though at that time it was only currencies, and I was not successful as yet, but I had knowledge of what I'm doing now. It was totally different from me when I started trading the first time and the me trading while losing and all that. Fine. That was just around August. And whenever I would lose money, I would call my mom and say, Mommy, I need to buy books. Mommy, I would need to buy a financial calculator Vision 2.0 because the one I have is 1.0. Those things, they didn't exist. I didn't buy any of those things. So what I'm telling you guys is that there is no one on this live video, or there is no one who can ever say they made me except for my mom. My mom made me, but she was not aware. So she was the one who was funding my whole operation, through lies, obviously. Because if I say, Mom, I need 1,000 to trade Forex, she doesn't have money. But if I say, Mom, I need 1,000 to buy books, she has money. You see? So she was my main funder. So none of you niggas can say you have made me. You found me how I am. None of you niggas, none, 0%. Now I knew that eventually I'll run out of ways to make money. The last time I funded my trading account with 1,000 rands was somewhere around September, right? Which I got from my mom. I found it, I traded fundamental. A 1 minute strategy was not there. 1 minute strategy was not there. I didn't have a strategy. I just knew that something is going to happen during this time, but I didn't know how to trade it. You understand? Yeah. So around September, my relationship, the last time I had sex with my girlfriend was in July. August, I didn't have sex with her. September, I didn't have sex with her. And remember, when you're trading Forex, immediately after blowing an account, you must have sex so that you don't have to have that heavy load behind your shoulders, It's good for Forex traders to have sex frequently, because after blowing an account, you have this pain, only sex can release the. And at that time, I was still masturbating, but the real thing is always better than masturbating. The only difference is that masturbating still gives you the main purpose, which is to come. The whole point is to come. Now, if I'm masturbating and I came, and you had real sex and you came, we both came, Chief. You can't say I didn't come. I came. If you think I didn't come, I can even come on you. I came. That's a fact. The main purpose was to come. So that was 2 months of not having sex. And things were not that way before, because me and her used to hit about 8 rounds. We used to do about 8 rounds. Sex. Me. 8 rounds. Don't undermine me. 8 rounds. I would fuck like a robot. But now, ever since I had the money, it's about me now. If I come, I'm done. If I'm satisfied, I'm done. You can go to the police station and report me that I came early. It's fine. It's not about me impressing you. And that is when I got to notice the difference that poor people, you see, you must relax. Actually, let me not use the word poor. You must respect the broke guys. Broke guys will eat your girl better than you. I was once of one of them. I used to eat like nobody's business. Now, 2 months of not having sex. Whenever I would try to have sex with her, you see, when a girl is done with you, you could see with the behavior. She stops giving you what she's supposed to give you, you know? So I've seen it at that moment that, you know what, there is a problem in this relationship. There is a problem in this relationship. Why is my woman no longer giving me punani all of a sudden? You know? And the only answer to my question was that guy. You see that guy that she was hanging out with, the intelligent guy, that was the answer. So I kept on begging for sex, you know, because I was going through a lot and I needed to release because masturbating was not entirely what I wanted at that moment, you know. And she didn't give me any. She didn't give me any. It's fine. Now, September month end, when I was trading, I started making money. Like I started making money, right? But the money that I made, I don't remember exactly how much, but it was somewhere around 5,000 rands. Somewhere I was able to make 5,000 rands when I was still with her, right? Now, October, early October, early October, I've asked her for the last time that, baby, please give me sex. I want sex. I can't do this anymore. It's almost 3 months not having sex. I still don't understand why you're not giving it to me. She made excuses and all that. You know, when girls don't want to give it to you, they will make excuses. But other niggas don't even beg for that shit. They are the ones who open their legs before. You see life. A boyfriend is begging to get laid. A random nigga, they open for him before he even asks. You see life. And I knew that the reason why she was not giving it to me, it was not because I was underperforming. I was a robot, people. I was a machine when it comes to that. Maybe now I'm underperforming because now I'm feeling myself. But at that time, I made no mistake. I made her come many times. I was a robot. So I knew that her not giving it to me was not because of my performance. There was no nigga who could perform like me. I used to invest my everything. So I knew that there is another nigga who's doing better than what I'm giving her in terms of attention, intellectual challenge, or whatever you guys may call it. So on the 13th of October, 2016, 13th of October 2016, that is when my life has changed. So this girl, remember I had little profit at that time. This girl, she came to my room, right? And we had a conversation. We talked. And I was complaining as to how she has changed. I was complaining as to how I love her, but she's no longer giving me punani, she's no longer giving me the attention that she used to give me, and so forth, you know. And she was crying, you know, she was emotional. We were having that emotional talk on the 13th of October 2016, and she told me how much I'm less of a man, you know, in a way, how much I'm basically useless. Because at that time we stopped using protection, meaning that I was entering meet to meet. You know how it is when you are in a relationship with a person for quite a long time. You start trusting each other and so forth. So I was hitting it raw. at that time. So she raised concerns that, what if I fall pregnant now? How will you take care of your baby? I didn't have answers for that. So her points were useful, basically. She reminded me how useless I am, how less of a man I am, how she's much better and deserves better, you know. And one of the reasons, I used to sell her dreams. Like during the progress of the relationship, I used to sell her dreams that, baby girl, one day I will buy your phone, I will take you out on a vacation, just after I've taken her out on the first one, you know. And whenever I would have money to do those things, I would take it to Forex. So that's what used to make her mad. She could see that there's something that I'm doing with the money, you know. So she was expressing her feelings, how I used to play with her, promising her things. And she was right. She was right. I was promising her things. But instead of doing those things, I was actually investing in Forex and losing the money. And there was no way I could tell her about it, because she was going to tell me that Forex is a scam, just like how everybody is saying Forex is a scam. I mean, I'm referring to poor people right now, how they think mentality wise. So it's fine. She ended things with me on the 13th of October 2016. She broke up with me and she told me that she can't do this anymore. I'm not the guy for her. Now, remember, I've experienced heartbreak before, but I felt like the one that I was going through was a bit too much. Like it was a matter of life and death. It was worse than the one that I've experienced in 2013. It was worse. So I was like, okay, you're breaking up with me. She's like, yes. And I asked her, I didn't ask her. I begged her. I begged her that please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. If you leave me, it's over for me. I'm going to kill myself. She said, you know what? You can decide to leave. You can kill yourself. It's fine, you know? And I'm like, please, girl, don't leave me. You see, when you're begging a girl, a guy begging a girl, crying, literally, I was crying. I still can't believe I was crying for a girl. Me crying. But I was at that time. So I was crying, please don't leave me. But either way, she left me, you know? She left me. And it's one pain. Basically, that was the last pain. Ever since from that moment till today, that was the last pain I've ever had because of a girl. And I told myself that I'm never ever going to feel that pain again. It's not nice, because that type of a pain leads to depression, and that type of a depression leads to suicide. You know, I don't really blame people who get dumped and they commit suicide at some point, because we don't know how they feel about this people or this type of a person. So I accompanied her to her room. On the way, throughout the way, imagine they dumped me. I still have the nerve to accompany her because it was a bit dark. I wanted to make sure that she arrives safe. I accompanied her. Throughout the way, I was begging her, please don't leave me. Please don't leave me. You see, there's a saying that my tears don't just go to the ground for nothing. I think maybe that was my break point. When I got to her place, after making sure that she arrived safely, I asked her, don't leave me. Either way, she was leaving me. One thing that I asked from her was the last kiss. Last kiss. Remember, previously I've asked for the last kiss, they gave it to me. I managed to move on 2 years later. It took me almost 2 years to move on. Now I'm asking for the last kiss again from another girl. Now this simply means it's going to take me 4 years to move on. So we kissed for the last time, and Tears were just all over my face. And if it was now, you'd swear that I had corona, the way I had a running nose and all that, like a small kid. You know, when you're crying, you even have running nose, even though you don't have flu. That was me at that time, you know. But that's life, guys. Hey, that's life. That's life, you know. And after that, I went back to my room, right? 13th of October, I went back to my room. So when I got to my room, I told myself that I'm going to make sure that I get successful with this Forex thing. Then I traded. I had about 5,000, 6,000 somewhere there. I traded AUD and I lost everything. I lost everything. Now, imagine, after getting dumped, you are trading so that you can make money, so that you can make yourself feel better, and you're losing. I lost again. And there, guys, I wonder if I've been thinking about suicide ever since things don't go my way in life, ne? But that was the right time to do it. Honestly, that was the right time to do it. But now, problem was that I'm a coward. You know, I just didn't have the nerve. But that was the right time for me to just end my life, because I had to go face my parents that I lied to them for 4 years. My mom was probably going to have a stroke. My dad was probably going to have a heart attack. You know, they were probably going to disown me if I were to do that. You know, so the only way for me, because I felt like I was living for this girl, was to end my life, right? So after blowing my account, I didn't eat for a week. A week, I was not eating anything. They say that Jesus survived 40 days. I've survived 7 days without eating. What I was eating initially, it was snacks. Like, just, you see, snacks and drinking water. Snacks, drinking water. Now, the reason why I was not eating was not because there was no food at that time. There was little food to eat. The only problem was that I didn't want food. You know, when you are ahead, you don't even want food, you know. I didn't eat for like 7 days. My brother, Kuto, he was there for me. He could literally, in the middle of nowhere, when I'm sleeping with him occasionally, he would switch on the light and he would find me like this. You see, when middle of the night, it's dark in the room, and then you're sleeping with a person, and then when you would switch on the light, the person is like this, tears all over. That was me for like every day, crying, every day, crying for her. Now, I think if only she knew the kind of pain that I was in, she would have came back. But I don't think she knew the kind of pain that I was in, because I was unable to talk to anyone about it at that time, right? I'm only confident to talk about it now because there's nothing anybody can do. You know. Now, I made a phone call to my mom, and I forgot what was the lie this time. But my mom gave me 1,000 rands. It's like these things, they are connected. When she gave me the 1,000 rands, I lied to her, obviously, but I don't know what was the reason, but it has something to do with school. She told me that this is my last money, Kgopotso. After this, I'm no longer giving you anything. So Lina, initially I knew that this is the last money. This is like the last money. I funded the account with 1,000. If there is one thing in common that I've always had, is not listening. Hey, now I don't listen, man. Hey, now I don't listen. Yes, sis. Because even after losing so much, I still didn't give up on this thing. I still went in. You know, going back to the same thing that hurts you is like going back to an ex that's been abusing you. It's like, I don't know if it's stupidity oh, it's just ignorance or what. But I didn't listen. I went back, deposited the money. It was about what, $60. Now, people, from that moment when I was trading, I was not trading to make money. No, at that time. I was trading to make sure that I get successful, just so I could get back at my ex. Just so I could be successful, so that I can be better than that guy that he's hanging with. So this takes me back to what I said when I said my success has everything to do with love. So if it was not because of that heartbreak, I wouldn't have pushed beyond the limit. Now, from that moment onwards, 24 hours almost, I would sleep like maybe for like 2 to 3 hours. Almost all the time, I would be on my computer looking at the Forex graph, not entirely trading. It was like I drank energy booster. Now I was angry. I was not trading. I was angry. Angry at her that I'm going to show her that I will make it. Keep in mind, I didn't know that I was going to make it, but I had that anger. It was not even about believing or having faith. I was angry that I'm going to show this girl. The only thing which was in my mind when I opened the trade was, I'm going to teach this girl a lesson. I'm going to teach this girl a lesson. So she was part of my pushovers, the main pushover, you know. And that taught me something in life, that sometimes the main thing that hurts you, you can actually use it to become successful. Let your situation, the situation that you're in right now in your family, the abuse, the poverty, whatever, let that be a reason why you push harder. You understand? Don't let that be the reason why you give up on life on its own. Let that be the reason why you push harder. I've pushed, and I didn't push to make myself a better guy. I pushed to prove it to her that I can make it. Everything that I was doing was about her. Now, from that point, I started making profit. Now, here's the thing. Whenever I would make 5,000 rands, remember now I was purely trading fundamental, but I didn't know, or it didn't have a name. It didn't have a name as yet. It was not 1 minute strategy. It was just a strategy that I was using at that time. I would make 5,000, withdraw, 4,000 withdraw, 10,000 withdraw, 15,000 withdraw. Everything that I was doing was withdrawing. And at that time, because I was doing everything out of anger, I was not even aware that I was actually winning. Like I was not even aware that, fuck, this is the time for me to celebrate. I didn't have time for that. I was angry. So I kept on pushing. November, when it was time to write exams in 2016, I went to school to, actually, yeah, it was early November, I think. I went to school to fetch my timetable. Now, on the timetable will tell you the subjects which you qualify to write for, right? Sorry, out of the 5 subjects, I've qualified to write for 2. Instead of writing for those 2 subjects, I tiered the timetable. Remember, the timetable is a ticket for you to enter into an exam room. So I tiered the timetable like this to show that, fuck school, I'm not going back. I'm not writing any exam. I kept on pushing, making money. Now, here's the thing. I never changed my lifestyle. People around me never noticed that this guy is making money out of Forex. You know, that is why even today, people still say I don't look like I have money, which is true. It's because I've never looked like I have money. It's because I don't need to prove myself to you. Who the fuck are you? Where were you when I was poor? If I was able to have money and still look the same, what stops me from having money now and still look the same? I mean, why must I wear Gucci so that you can respect me, dog? If you respect me, you'll respect me out of the real person that I am. If you don't respect me, Fotek. I'm just that type of a guy now. It's like whether you're coming or going, doesn't really matter, dog. Doesn't really matter. Now, December. December, it's almost approaching like almost 3 months of the relationship, right? December, it's time to go home. When it was time to go home early December, I told my parents that, you know what, I will be writing a re-exam. Re-exam is when you wrote an exam and you didn't pass well, then they give you a chance to write again. So I told them that. But I knew that around on the 16th of December, around that time, there were events that I needed to trade, right? So that's why I was still that side. Now, at that time, I've had my niggas. At that time, Kuto didn't know anything about trading. Vincent didn't know that I was even trading. He was driving a taxi somewhere in Witbank at that time. So he was, his father disowned him at that time. Fosh, he was failing in UJ. He didn't know that I was trading. So there were two guys that I opened to. That was my roommate and this other friend of mine. So meaning that now it was like the three of us in a way. So I was teaching them how I'm making money. So I started with my roommate. I showed him this thing and all that. And then, I showed him how they work. I showed them how it works. So December, I was trading, trading in their presence. They were seeing me trade fairly, so they were interested and all that, so I've kept them close. I'm that type of a guy who goes down with his old niggas. I don't do new friends, by the way. I don't really do new friends. If you're new and you're my friend, consider yourself fucking lucky, because I always go up with my old niggas. Now, when we went home, Vele, December, I got home, Vele, you know what? I'm feeling myself, right? Parents are happy to see me, but they are worried because I've lost weight. Remember, I went through breakup and I've lost weight. It's like every time I go through breakup, I lose weight. So I lost weight. My mom was not happy about it, but now I was happy because I knew that I was on a recovery phase. Now, when I was spending my December in 2016, ladies and gentlemen, from that last 1,000 deposit that I've made, I've already had almost 93,000. That is like almost 100,000. Like I've almost made almost 93,000 from 1,000. So that's how the story came about, because so many people didn't really know the details. When was your actual breakthrough? So if you can remember, I've had so many tries, but none of them worked until this time when I got heartbroken, then it worked, So I've had almost about 93,000. Now, when I went home, I was behaving differently, If you can have a look at my Facebook in 2016, you can see that this guy was starting to flex a little bit, He's no longer the poor guy that we used to know or we know, you see. So I was starting to flex a bit, buying appetizers, pizzas and all that, So that was the only thing which I was doing at that time. I didn't really go for a certain type of lifestyle. Now, come 2017, remember, there's still so many stories which I will tell from 2018 till present. Now, the reason why I feel like I'm still going to tell you even when after I've made it is because I want you guys to understand that even if you have made it in life, there are still challenges that you go through. Challenges, it's part of life. Even a billionaire can tell you that. You never stop hustling. You're always going to go through challenges, right? So come 2017, I'm feeling myself now. So I told Kuto about the whole thing. I'm like, boy, there's this thing that I've been doing. Kgopotso is family, by the way. It's called Forex trading. This is how I've been doing it, and this is what I've been doing. This is how much I made. Kgopotso said, this thing is a scam. It's not working. Until I showed him the money that I made. Then after I showed him the money, he's like, fuck. Boy, is this real? I'm like, yes, boy, it's real. We can like go buy a car tomorrow. Tomorrow we can go buy a car. And it's like, no, boy. You see, many people don't understand. The reason why I was able to do things that are the way I'm doing them now is because of my surrounding. If it wasn't because of Kgopotso, I think I would have blown the money at some point. So Kgopotso is like, he was controlling how I think in a way, helping me make better decisions. It's like, boy, no, we can't buy a car now. So what we need to do is that we need to make more money out of this. Remember, at that time, there was no FBK. There was no FBK. There was no teach me how to trade at that time. I've done it for myself on my own. So that's why I'm telling you that there is no nigger here who's going to say that I'm successful because of him. No nigger on this live right now. None. I've made it. Now, time came for me to face up my parents. Remember now, my parents, they're waiting for my results. My parents, they're waiting to tell me when is the graduation day. It's been 4 years university, and they're expecting me to graduate. Now it's the 5th year. Now it's 2017. I've had a meeting with my parents, sat down with them, and I'm like, Mom, Dad. They're like, yes, son. They're like, I'm like, I know you expect me to graduate this year, right? They're like, yes, you're gonna graduate. And I'm like, no, I'm not graduating. I'm not graduating. I'm leaving school. I've never seen my mom so angry. Yeah. I've never seen my father so disappointed. Yeah. My mom was so angry. She was furious. My father was disappointed. They asked me, are you back at this DJing thing of yours? Because I guess they knew that I loved being a DJ, you know? And I'm like, no, what I'm doing has nothing to do with music. I stopped doing music long time ago because I've seen it. It's wasting my time. They're disappointed. You see, when your parents are disappointed in you. My mom's words to me was that, Kgopotso, if you're gonna go to university, if you're gonna go to Pretoria, but not going back to school to graduate, just know that you're no longer my son. I'm like, yeah? She's like, yes. If you're going to go back to Gauteng, not going back to school, just know that you're no longer my son. You will no longer get anything from me. I will no longer buy you clothes. I will no longer give you money for food. I will no longer give you anything. Because I've made loans, I've made sacrifices for you to go to school. You can't tell me that you're quitting at the last minute. You can't quit at the last minute when you're supposed to graduate. My father said the same thing, that son, if you're doing this, just know that we are no longer your parents. It means that you are a man. You're on your own. Now, I don't blame my parents. Do you know why I don't blame them? It's because in their heads, my parents actually thought that all this time I was passing and I'm going to be graduating in 2017. Now, the real reason why I'm quitting school is because all this time I was failing and it's over for me. So that's the thing. Maybe if I had told them that the reason why I'm quitting is because I've been failing, then they would have understood, maybe, just maybe. But in their heads, they thought I was graduating. And I'm like, okay. So it is what it is. Then Kgopotso, I told Kgopotso about it. Kgopotso Leena, he went through the same thing. He told family, I'm no longer going to school. Me and Kgopotso will be pushing this thing called Forex. They said, hey, if you dare leave school, just know that you're on your own. So practically we were literally disowned financially, I would say. But now, here's the interesting part. You're a parent, you're disowning your son, not knowing that your son has your annual salary in his bank account. He just didn't tell you about it. So that's how I felt. So when my mom was saying these things, I was like, okay, mommy, it's fine. Disown me. It is what it is, mom. I love you a lot, but it is what it is. Disown me is good. Dad, I love you a lot, but it is what it is. Disown me, but I'm going back to Gauteng whether you like it or not. That's when I've noticed that I'm actually stubborn. And when it comes to my dreams, I'm very, very overprotective. And when it comes to my dreams, I don't put any respect on anyone. When it comes to my dreams, I don't need to respect you. It's about me. It's about my dreams. I will not settle for anything. So I've told my parents what I needed to tell them. And the conversation that we had, at the end of the day, my father told me that I'm disrespectful. My mom cried. She actually cried, saying that she didn't raise me that way to talk to them that way. It's because of this. When I was talking to them, now I was being honest. With black parents, you can't really be honest to your parents. Once you're honest and you tell them what's really in, how many times have you said no to what they want you to do, but you can't tell them because there's nothing you can do. So I was honest. I told them what I needed to get off my chest, how they want to control me, make me this person that I'm not. I'm going to be what I'm going to be, So they took it as a disrespect. My mom even cried. I was hurt that I made my mom cry for the first time for as long as I remember. But in my heart, I knew that those tears that she shed, one day there will be tears of joy. The next time my mom cried because of me was when I got her a car. You see, but at that time she cried because I hurt her. It's fine. We went back to Gauteng, me and Kgopotso. First week, my mom called me. She said, Kgopotso, I love you. I'm going to send you 250 rands to come back home. I'm like, I'm not coming back home, mom. She said, please, son, come back home. I said, I'm not coming back home. They called Kgopotso on the other side because we were not staying in one family. They said, Kgopotso, we are going to send you 200 rands. Mine was 250 at least. His was 200. Please come back home. Kgopotso told them that I'm not coming back home. The real reason why we were not going back home is because we knew that 200 rands they were trying to bribe us with, it gets in times 100 into what we have. So that's what used to give us confidence. So that's why when people come to me and say, Coach, I'm thinking of quitting my job, I'm thinking of quitting school for Forex trading, what do you think? I'm going to tell them that before you quit your job or quit school, please make sure that you make enough money out of Forex. Don't quit before making enough money because you're going to see shit. So we had that confidence because we have made money out of Forex. So there was nothing anybody can do to take that away from us. Now, when we went back to Garankua, back to the same student accommodation, I still had almost 90,000, right? I didn't trade, I would say, before going back to Gauteng. So we left like on the 5th of January, 2017, we were already back in Gauteng, whereas students were supposed to come back month end January. Rena, because we were not going in as students, we went early. So when we went early, we called the two other boys, my roommate and my other friend. So it's like there were 4 of us, right? There were like 4 of us pushing. Now, the two other boys didn't really know how much I've actually made. Kema, China boy. Just hold on. On your phone again. Sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah. So there were like four boys, right? And out of the four boys, it's you don't know the other two. You only know Kuto only. You only know Kuto only. The other two things didn't go well. I will explain why. Remember what I said? I always go up with my niggas. So when we were four of us, we sat down, we're like, boys, let's do this thing. FBK was not there at that time. So January, the whole of January, we were eating takeaways. Every day, we didn't care. We were spending money, the four of us. We had the same vision at that time. So we were trading, we were making money. We've actually made, I think it was about 80,000 together. Somewhere there, 40, somewhere there. I don't remember very well. Somewhere there, together, right? Now, here's the thing. As people, we are different. Remember, I've made my first almost 100K alone. I didn't go to Senten to buy Gucci. I didn't buy a car. I didn't get anything expensive. And the moment I was supposed to do that, I brought Kuto in. Now, Kuto, when I wanted to buy a car actually. So I wanted to buy a small Corolla or Tez, which cost like 30,000 or 40,000. Then Kuto told me that, no, boy, don't buy anything. Let's make more money using this money. You see, that simply means that Kuto had a vision for us. Like, we must go far. Betuel was not there at that time. Poncho was not there. Musho was not there. Vincent was not there. It was just me and Kuto and the other two boys that we were with. So what we were doing is that me and Kuto, we were funding the whole thing. We were depositing money in the Forex account and then we would discuss the market, all of us, as people who have the same vision. Now, problems started when we make money. You see, some people are, I don't know if I would say they are allergic to seeing money. Once they see money, they start going mad. So those boys, those other two boys, once they saw money, actual 15,000, actual 20,000, they started making parties. They would like eat 5,000 a weekend. Like out of the money that we make, they would spend 5,000 on alcohol. And we would talk to them, me and Kuzo. Remember, ever since I was born, I never drank alcohol. I never smoked weed, hardly. I never smoked any cigarette. Any sin that I might have been doing is to have sex and masturbating maybe, and other sins that I'm not aware of. So when those guys saw money, they started living this lifestyle of impressing people, making sure that the landlord feels that now we have money, such things. And this other weekend, the other weekend that made me go mad, they've actually spent like 10,000 in one weekend. They left on Friday, they came back on Sunday. Remember, this was like our money, a group money, So we were sharing the money. So they went the whole weekend, they spent more than 10,000 or whatever, I don't know, with alcohol and girls, maybe drugs. I don't know what they were doing with that money. Hey. So we had a huge fight. So we came to a decision. You know what, boys? Me and Kuto are gonna go our way, and you boys are gonna go your way. So whatever amount of money that we made, we are going to split it. So we splitted whatever amount of money that we had. Ne? Now, funny enough, immediately after splitting the amount of money, they made another party. All the money that we gave them, they've blown it again with a party and girls. And Kuto told me that, you see, with such people, you can never go far, right? So that simply means that it's like we are on a reset mode. We are both starting on 0%. We both have nothing, right? We both have nothing. We are given a chance to build. They knew how to trade at that time. We knew how to trade. So it was just a matter of us not sharing money anymore, because whenever we share money, they want to take money and spend on girls and spend on alcohol. Nalokuto, we were not drinking. You see, it was not fair to work like that. So that's why we separated, right? Now, the role that these guys played a huge role into me becoming what I am today, into FBK becoming what it is today. But at that time, there was no FBK. I want you guys to understand there was no FBK at that time. So what happened? Around December, one of the other guys, told me that you must write a book. That's how 1 Minute Strategy was written. You must write a book based on Forex and all that, That's his idea. And the name 1 Minute Strategy came with him. Like, he's the one who said, since you are making money in 1 minute, I didn't come with the name. He said, I only came with modifications, name, and coach correction. Those are the only names that I came with. He said, since we are making money in 1 minute, let's call it 1 Minute Strategy once. So that's how 1 Minute Strategy started. That's how it was born, actually. It was because of him. And that's how the PDF, the free PDF that you are reading now, that's how it was actually compiled. They helped me a lot, They helped me throughout the process of doing the book and all that. So the only problem was that when we were making money, remember that was before. When we were making money, we had different plans. They wanted to live the lifestyle, we wanted to invest. So that was the only difference. So we've decided to part ways, I mean, But now, challenge was that they've already played their role in my life. However, good part was that we made money, they've seen it, but we've had our fair share. And they've blown their money. Now, this simply means that whatever amount of money that me and Kuto make from this point onwards, it's our money. They are not there, So the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because there were scandals. After they see that we were successful, they came back and they tried claiming for what's theirs. Apparently, they're saying that FBK is theirs, I'm theirs, the cars that I have, it's theirs. I mean, dog, we hustled together. We made 100,000 and we had differences. We splitted 50-50. You have blown your own 100,000. Now mine, I've invested it and made more. When I make more money, you can't come back and say what I've made is yours. You guys, you understand? This simply means that there are going to be people that you start business with today, right? Those people are going to leave you during the way, during the progress of the journey, because it's tough, right? Now, when they leave you, they're going to leave you alone. When you make money, they're going to come back and say, yeah, you started with me. Chief, if I started with you, you are not supposed to leave me in the first place. So just be aware of such situations. Just be aware of such situations. There's always going to be that one person who claims that they have leverage over your life, over your success, and that's nonsense. Because most of the things that you went through them alone. They were not there, right? Now, it happened. And then me and Kuto Vele, we pushed, we traded. They were trading as well. Here's the thing. Here's the good part about it. They were trading as well. The difference, the main difference is that they were trading with like $10, $20. Me and Kuto were trading with $1,000. I get it, they didn't have money to fund their trading accounts anymore because they've blown it on girls and alcohol. So me and Kuto had enough money to fund. So we were trading the same thing. They would make $50, we would make $5,000. So it's part of life. We all make choices, Now, there was a time whereby around February, I made a video. Now, this is how FBK was started. This is how FBK was started, right? This is very important because I see so many Forex traders out there. beefing, all that, forcing for fame and all that, speaking bad about other traders and all that, just so they could get famous, trying to promote their Forex institutions and all that. I didn't plan for FBK. FBK happened. I didn't plan for FBK. What happened was this. I made a video, just one video, right? Whereby I had about, I think it was about $60, right? I had about $60. Now in that video, the video actually went viral on social media. I've posted it on Facebook. Remember, before I was faking to be famous on Facebook somewhere around 2014, 2015. Now, after that, this time, now fame is coming for real. Now, the video went viral. It started in KZN. Now, when I'm on Facebook, I'm checking my DMs. I see so many people inboxing me. Hey, yo, bro, I saw your video. I'm like, which video? They're like, the one you posted. So people were sharing that video. In that video, it's still there. I'm going to look for it. It's still there somewhere online rotating. In that video, I was able to make $120 in just seconds. That is one thing which people have never seen before. The people that have seen the video, they've never seen anything like that. You see? So that's how it started, you know. People started inboxing me, you know, we want to learn, what are you using? You know, so that's how I got to be well known in the Forex trading industry. Then as I made videos, they were going viral because of how I traded. Now, keep in mind, during this progress, we're still staying in student accommodation in Garankuwa, right? Now, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it's been like, I've started this live from 10. Now it's 2, so it's like 4 hours on this live. So unfortunately, I have to come to an end based on part 2 of my story. I will come back with part 3. Part 3, I will pick it up from 2017 so that you can get to understand what is the main reason behind the buying of cars and so forth. And how were we able to remain relevant and keep on making money and all that, you know, the challenges that we are going through and all that. So nonetheless, this is where I'm going to end, people. Thank you guys for watching me throughout this time for like almost 4 hours. I appreciate that. So I feel a need to share my story with you guys, because I'm tired of being judged by people who don't know me. So rather today, judge me because you know me, right? Because I've shared my story with you. Don't judge me because you've seen a post, just because there's Forex trading and then you want to judge me. No, that's nonsense. Fuck you for that. But judge me because now you know who I am, what I've been through, what I was doing and all that. So I'm just going to save this live video on my timeline so that you can be able to view it. Nonetheless, I will see you guys on part 3, whereby now the journey starts. I will still talk about the reality show. Don't worry, I will still talk about the reality show and so forth. You'll understand so many things, and you'll understand the main purpose of the media, that the media's main purpose is to destroy, not to build. So I will share so many things going forward. So nonetheless, thank you guys. Don't forget to set your notifications on. The best way is to just set your notifications on for when I'm going live, whenever I decide to go live. Therefore, you can simply not miss part 3. Nonetheless, thank you guys. I don't know the date for part 3. I will just see when I have time. Part 0, part 1, it's there on my timeline. Thank you guys for watching me. May the Lord bless you. In the name of Jesus. Amen.